By the blessing of the icons and their emissaries, we found the child.
We brought something else to light.
There's a darkness coming.
In the shadows are old enemies.
And new allies.
What will survive in the dawn?
Of the Last Cyclade.
Good evening, folks. It's been so long. I've forgotten what to do.
I thought we had 6 seconds left.
We did, but that was because... Anyway.
That was 10 seconds ago.
That was 10 seconds ago, yeah. Welcome to Gobbler Games. My name is Millie or something. I don't remember. And we're going to play some Coriolis in a minute. Please, please mute your phone.
Will do. I was wondering why I could hear you also in a slight delay. I just assumed I was mad. Never mind.
Hey folks, welcome to Gobbler Games. I am going to play some Coriolis, Mercy of the Icons, Part 2, the Last Cyclade, with my friends. Hello, friends. Hello, Pete. How are you?
I'm good. I'm having to be a little bit quiet because there's bedtime activities going on. But I'm very much looking forward to Mercy of the Icons, Book 2.
It's ASMR, Pete.
Hello.
Hey, Ben. How's it going? No.
A bit of ASMR from me as well there. Except my microphone probably muted it out. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
That's a nice class.
It's beer.
Hey, fingernail buddies as well.
I know, right? And Adun, how are you? Do you have some tea?
I have a variety of drinks. Actually, I have tea, I have a refreshing juice, and I have some pink stuff, which I'm told is absolutely vital for Coriolis.
Pink stuff.
Whatever
could that be?
Might involve aubergines.
And I can't, there we go. Look, I'm in the frame. I can touch his face. It's Graham. How are you, Graham?
I'm perfectly fine. I'm just a little like, can I do this?
That's what we call breaking the fourth wall, people.
Yeah.
It is indeed. Yeah, I'm excellent, if I'm honest with you. All good, raring to go.
Oh, that's what I forgot to put on this overlay. Darkness points. Oh, no.
No, we don't need any of those. No, it's fine.
You don't get any.
It's fine.
Actually, hang on.
You don't need to hoard them.
We can fix that in post. But yeah, welcome. I'm glad everybody is well. Like the intro that we on stream couldn't hear, but folks at home could. We have some old friends and some new allies to start this second part of the Mercy of the Icons campaign. Thingies of the Doodahs. I would like to say, if you are joining us for the first time and you've not watched any Coriolis and you're like, oh no, it's part 2, do I need to know everything? No, you don't.
We're playing it and I don't even know all of what happens in part 1.
Yeah, there you go. You don't need to know all of it. Graham's probably forgot a chunk of it.
No, the fridges are important. Never turn your back on a fridge.
Not a Scooby.
I think several drug lords don't like us.
Mm-hmm.
Was a pyramids, and yeah, we did some cool stuff.
Yeah, there was
Season 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Season 1 in a nutshell.
Now play that over, Carry On My Wayward Son, and we're there.
Yeah, but you don't need to know anything. So welcome, join us, and if you do want to go back and see it, it's all on the Garblag YouTubes, and a podcast I think is up to date. I don't know, probably, who knows? But yeah, it's all on the Garblag Games YouTubes. You can check it out on there. This adventure starts about, let's see, so it's the Lady of Tears month, so it starts about 4 or 5 months off the top of my head. I'll get the proper calendar another time. But since we last kind of played, things have not changed that well. They have and they haven't in the world of Coriolis. And our adventure kind of starts with is it a familiar looking ship? Did we decide that we have somehow acquired a familiar looking ship?
Borrowed.
I
don't mind. Do you want to make a ship, or are you happy taking noise?
Ooh, I think a dune has dropped.
It'd be a good link to the last one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll have a link and use the same ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me see if we can.
You certainly don't want to use Wajid Al Uzra.
Hello. Would you tell us? There we go, Pete. You stay there for now. You can be in two
I'm in two
screens.
places at once.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Thank you.
So we were just deciding if we're going to get a brand new ship or we're going to use the old ship from the previous campaign. I think I'd quite like using Nur's ship. It's a familiar one. And if you don't mind, we will just carry on that.
I am a humble itinerant archaeologist, not at all humble, but I don't mind.
All right, so
As long as it has the harpoons and we go looking for the relics in the space is fine.
yeah, so our adventure starts a little bit. What's the word? What did they describe it? En media res kind of thing, like partway through something already. So this familiar ship, I remember it being called the Kuda Patilla, floating through space, and there would be a little bit on the bottom in like that Coriolis script font kind of thing that says the Uharu system. I wonder if who knows Nur to have acquired this ship?
I know everyone.
Shazna.
Shanaz.
Oh, it's already started. I'm going to get Ben's character's name
I've
wrong.
even phonetically spelled it out on my screen for you.
I know. It's beautiful. So how do they know Nur and tell us about them for folks who have never...
Shanaz, if you saw the Pay the Road story, also available on Garblag Games, check out our YouTube. You will have possibly met Shanaz before. She's a little bit of a slightly self-involved Space Kardashian meets Inara from Firefly kind of character. Stunningly beautiful, famous for being famous. She is a Dabaran Mithra, which is a courtesan of high training and incredible cost. It's possible that she might be married a couple of times and possibly involved with the Alarm Temple assassins, but that's mostly due to a misunderstanding and something that should never pose a problem at all. Definitely not. Certainly won't come up.
Just let me look at this page over here. No, it's all good. It's all good, bud. Don't worry about it.
But Shanaz is a social media and network star. She's been on everything. She's one of those people that everybody recognizes the face of, and they're not entirely sure why. Because she's not an actress. She's not a TV star. She's not a model. She's a little bit of all of those things. And at the same time, famous for just being who she is.
An influencer.
Yeah, an influencer. Space Twitter is her stomping ground.
It's Twitter, Coriolis. I can't remember what terrible thing we imagined that being on the last campaign.
What did we?
You'll find Chirper. That was it. All right. So she knows Nur.
She knows anyone who's anyone.
She probably knows Jafar's cousin, younger cousin, because let's face it, that was a given. So Nur has introduced you to some other folks. Who did she introduce you to first?
No doubt the professor, which is how I will refer to Jafar, whether he's got a professorship or not.
I will take it.
Because he's also someone that moves in the rarefied circles on Coriolis and can actually get a table at name of restaurant forgotten.
Yeah.
We know where we're talking about. The fancy posh place where you...
That really fancy posh place
Very
that
rich
nobody
to
can
go
get
in
into
when-
without months worth of reservations in advance.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, sir. She always holds a table for me and for one other special person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you put Nur in touch with Jafar. Tell us about Jafar, Adun.
So Jafar is a space archaeologist. He made his first fame and fortune on the monolith which is a massive piece of ancient tech that's embedded itself in a planet, and it's slightly dangerous, but is well worth the trials and tribulations. And he invested a lot of the monies that he made from that in the family ship, the Wajib al-Uzra, along with his cousin and various other family members. They went off into the deep dark after slightly dodgy tech. Please catch up on Shahrazad Protocols, also available on Garblack.
This is just like a please watch all our other shows show. It's brilliant. I love it.
It's all connected. It's the Garblack verse. Everything crosses over.
The monolith is on Kua, so it's on the planet directly below Coriolis Station.
There we go. And Jafar likes the finer things in life. He likes to be well known. Think aspirations to be Indiana Jones, but really a lot more Belloc.
Nice.
Right down to the white suit, Panama hat, everything else.
Does Jafar know possibly Silsila?
I think Jafar has been hanging out on Coriolis looking for something to do. He's getting bored. He wants to go back into space. He wants to go find something else interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many other people crawling around on the monolith to make it exciting.
Okay.
So he's looking for a ship, and he might be hanging around in a few bars that he might not normally hang around in.
Okay.
Looking very, very obvious because he does not take the white suit off.
I definitely hang out in dive bars. So.
All right. So in this dive bar, we met Silsila. Tell us about him.
Sure. So Silsila Zamil is on hiatus from the Colonial Rangers. He's also from Dabara, but he sort of grew up in poverty, leveraged his skills into a place in the Rangers and a place off planets. And I think what he wants is a little bit of what Jafar and Shanaz have. He wants some prestige and respect on his name. He would very much be up for some danger, assuming it will bring him some kind of riches and notoriety.
So I imagine the three of you have kind of via Nur found this ship that Nur is only a teenager. She's hanging around with this grumpy old Legion guy who's got like a robotic arm and just drinks whiskey and doesn't leave Coriolis much. I think he's slightly traumatized.
I like to think he has an attachment on the robotic arm so he can drink it like
I just
sticking out like
A little hip
Yeah.
flask.
Yeah,
Little
just
flask
in
that
his
sits
arm.
on.
Grumpy old
Unscrew the end
Zellion.
of the thumb.
So they had this ship. It's up for rent. That kind of stuff. And I suspect perhaps as a favor, a friend of Zellion and Nur put you in touch with someone called Yusuf. Kashar is what...
in the dive bars.
I don't know,
You
because...
hang around in low places where there's
I think
no
maybe,
real names, cheap drinks.
Yeah.
Edge of
and I think
danger.
maybe Yusuf saw these two hanging out who clearly probably couldn't figure out how to use a starship between the two of them, and they might
Oh no,
need
no!
someone
I
to-
literally live in my flight suit. It's like
Oh, okay.
what
okay.
Jafar thinks of his white actual suit. That's how Silsila thinks of his flight suit.
Ah, okay. Well,
I want
Yusuf
So
everyone
to
to
clarify,
know
you
what
wear
we're
the
pilots.
same clothes every time you go out.
It's part of who I am. Yes.
That's very confusing. You mean you've been seen in the same outfit twice?
Indeed.
It's part of my brand. Everyone expects
Oh,
to
now
see
that I
me
understand.
in the white suit with the hat. And if
Branding, I understand
is
completely.
particularly favored, then I might grace them with one of my hats, but not my favorite hat, obviously.
Okay. I like to think that at some point there has been a young cousin who's been like, no, Jafar, you have to have a brand. You have to be brand because you go and watch the other one to understand where I'm talking about here. So you've all kind of met together. Say it again for me, Ben.
Shanaz.
Shanaz has introduced you to a friend a contact, young, perhaps she's going through courtesan training. I can't remember what Noah wants to do. I think she was going to be a journalist, though. And has introduced you, because she's got this ship that is just in the docks on Coriolis, and she will rent it to you for, a relatively reasonable fee, which might get you to escape, get you some real work and that kind of stuff. And Silsilla, through the Colonial Rangers, you have contacts in the Consortium. Is it the Consortium? Yes, it's the Consortium, because they're all part of the same big...
Can't confirm that, obviously. It's classified.
Yeah, obviously. And they have got you an interesting job. An interesting job. They want you to escort a Consortium Special Branch agent, which is perhaps not so unusual for Silsilla, out to a place in Uharu. They want you to get past a blockade. The Order of the Pariah, if we know, are some religious, very religious folks, totally not a cult, very religious folk, and they've set up a blockade out that way with only certain people allowed through. They want you to breach this blockade and travel to the moon, Arcas 3, which is orbiting the sibling star Zuhul, and find some salvage out there. The Special Branch agent and her friends, her friends, let's call them these two chaps who are with her, they've got some interest in some salvage that has been recently reported out there, and they want you folks to get them through the blockade, escort them out there, and let her do her thing. So that's kind of where we start, like on the ship. Nadina is her name, and she used to work for she's from the Colonial Agency, which is possibly where Silsilla knows her.
Okay, do we start off like docked in port, or we?
So you start pretty much coming out of stasis on your ship, waking up. I get a very sort of alien feel out of the start of this one, where like coffins open and people are like,
"Oh no, we're on a spaceship and Millie's waking us up. We're all doomed."
I'm not happy. Where is my coffee?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do I have a thing? Currently okay. Second heartbeat? No.
Why am I always dressed in the horrible grey underwear? Why? This is not what I went into the pod in.
I love it.
Who does this every time? Every time. Yusef, we need to talk about this, okay? It's boundaries, okay?
He doesn't have any, I'm afraid.
So as we break bread, we have some coffee and that kind of stuff. We sit around. Nadina.
I'm not touching the noodles.
Not touching the noodles. Okay, good choice. Nadina, who is possibly, does Silsilla know her, or no? Does Silsilla know her, or is it an old contact who's put you in touch with this lady?
I would say somebody else put her in touch with us, because mostly he would have described his ranger job as drive the bus, swat the flies, and leave. So she's more of like an operative spy / agent. I might have driven her once. Maybe that we have a tenuous connection, but not really like work buddies or anything.
All right, sure. So she sits at this table with you all. Her two associates at the end of the table, mostly kind of keeping to themselves. And she raises a chipped mug. And says, a toast to bountiful findings. May the messenger bless us with good data, and let us pray the lady's cape has sheltered our target. from the darkness, and may her flower hide our mission from the watchful eyes of the Order. There's like a sort of religiously deep kind of toast to the mission.
I'll make eye contact with Yusef, roll my eyes slightly, and then like zip up my flight suit as if I mean business now.
I'm probably kind of on the edge of the room, like making sure things are working and checking stuff. You know, all these socialites and dilettantes are all chilling out and drinking things, whereas like I know Silsilla knows how the ship works, but they're the captain and need to talk to the important people. I'm not important. I'm nobody, so I'm in the background, like sorting things out. But I do see your eye, and I'm like,
yeah. Silsilla definitely thinks of himself as the pilot rather than the captain, even if that is his actual role.
sure.
Far is never more than 2 paces from the coffee machine
I
at this
remember.
point in the stasis recovery program that he has, but he will tip his head and the messenger
Mhm.
will watch over us.
Um,
Your 2 friends, are they also graced with names?
She gestures across the table and she laughs. She goes, Dala and Farouk. And one of them goes, Dala and Farouk. And he like points the other way and she goes, of course, yes, always. And they just go back to eating bread and porridge.
I give him that nod, like the downward hello nod.
Yeah, they do the same.
Mm. So, someone said something interesting about salvage. This is my speciality. I would like to know some more before we are closer.
She scoots maybe a little bit away from Dala and Farouk and she says, tell me, did you ever pay attention to the news with the Ghazali disaster?
Maybe.
We think the Zafira has returned. And for those who don't know, the Zafira was the escort ship that got lost in the portal when going to rescue the Ghazali. On a journey with the Ghazali to a disaster. He says, we think the Zafira has returned. Almost a year. No, actually, almost 3 cycles. It's been missing. Some thought it would never come out of the portals. We hear that it has appeared and the debris has drifted from the portal towards this moon.
Where has the event horizon been?
I'm literally thinking of Event Horizon right now, yeah.
And are we the only ones who have heard this, or will there be competition?
Well, I believe we are the first, and we paid hefty fees to keep this information. I believe the Red Spider Network, which is like,
Tall.
it's
The Smoking Gnu.
yeah, the Smoking Gnu style stuff. They have very much a not very credible reputation. However, they're one of the only alternatives to the Bulletin, which is the consortium. It's very much the people, the media, big media. I believe the Red Spider Network say they've heard of this too. They say they have the Emerald Disc from the Ghazali.
I do not think we will be the only ones there. Why is there a blockade?
Oh, the Order have closed down a lot of the area around here. Who knows?
Why?
Coincidence? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. If you were first, you would probably not need us to.
Well, we could have had a bigger consortium ship, but we do this right. Perhaps we can get the Emerald Disc and nobody will know we've been and gone, and our presence will be unknown and nobody will be able to track it down from here.
You want our presence to be unknown and no one to notice, and you've hired Shornaz and myself.
Well, if we do get stopped,
Nobody is going to believe that we're going to be looking for something like that.
I suppose there is the double bluff, yeah, but I was just thinking that low profile is not really.
I'm a little more concerned about the presence of the martyrs.
The other.
Yes.
Priors,
Yes.
priors.
They have
Now, they're fine on Coriolis. Wonderful people, done a lot of good work. But out here in space, you hear things.
Yes, and they were involved in that thing with the emissary. See last campaign.
And, you know, the war crimes.
Yeah, and the walker.
I mean, we could always tell them we're here to do like a vlog on their war crimes if we meet them. That might go down well.
That's very true.
A positive piece. Mm.
I mean, they might all be in all favour of it, to be fair, yes.
Shows the strength of the order. Oh, well, maybe.
The two bodyguards seem to have, Dalla and Farouk, have finished their breakfast, their food, and they get up, and they're like, "We're just going to check our equipment." We're not sure whether it was Dalla or Farouk which one said it. And they leave the mess room, they leave the cantina, and head back to where all this stuff is contained.
If I go to the flight area, are there cameras where I can see what they're looking at?
Probably, yeah. You've got good CCTV on the
I'm
ship.
gonna go
For
and
some
do that.
reason, the original owners wanted to be able to see everything that happened on their ship because they're not smugglers at all.
Cool, yeah, works for me, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go and do that, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just, I mean, I'm not really, like, if they're checking their weapons and things like that, then that wouldn't concern him in the slightest. If there's like a sort of a big cube with numbers counting down on it, that might concern him slightly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or a strange
Just
box that they
priming that.
lean over and you can't see what's in it, kind of thing.
They've both got
Just
a key
lights up.
each, and they're
Yes.
just doing something with a
Yeah,
box.
they're just sort of
briefcase
practicing
with a
setting up
golden
and turning
glow.
things.
Okay, I'll follow you up.
Does this ship have an AI?
It doesn't, no.
Yeah, I don't think Silsila, he wants to drive it, nothing else.
What's the name of the ship?
Kudat Batilla, I think, off the top of my head.
Because Jafar will try. Kudat! Hello! Hello, ship!
Hello, ship.
Hello?
You have to pick up the mouse and talk to it.
Yeah.
Hello, computer!
That
Hello!
was good.
Aluminum. I want to make some transparent aluminum.
I have four
Totally
darkness
fictional, mate.
points.
It'll never exist. Oh, wait.
Ding.
So
Jafar's going to do that for a while. It's going to try different corners. Going, hello, hello.
unfortunately, the ship
I've got him on the top left monitor and I'm just like enjoying the sight.
just a always on top one. Unfortunately, the ship does not have an AI. We can install one at a later date if good for Jafar.
I hear there's a spare one to download on the Scheherazade.
Oh,
Mm,
ooh, maybe not.
that one's it's quite chatty.
Yeah. So
Sorry, did I say the Scheherazade?
Mm.
Whoops.
So we look at the CCTV as we watch them, and they head down to the hold where all their things are, and they are in fact they're opening like rifle cases, which you probably saw them load, helped them load, that kind of stuff. Let's see what else they've got.
I think Silsila would find that quite reassuring. He's not really the person that's going to be the frontline
Yeah,
getting shot at person. The ship, sure. But yeah, you know, there's people, they've got rifles. That means the stuff he doesn't want to do is their job. That's cool.
Yeah. Also, should we make Silsila make a roll? We make the first roll.
Yes, this isn't Alien, so there's no stress. So yes, I will. What would you like me to roll? I would like to roll 6.
Like to roll 6. Let's
Good
make
choice.
an observation roll.
Right, so I have nothing in that, but I have 4 dice in wits. Here we go then. Oh, I got 1 success.
All right, partial success. So you as you're watching them, and you watch one of them, and they're doing a very competent kind of checking over their rifle, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a very competent and aggressive looking carbine. And you watch as the other one flips open a box, and at first you think it's like machine tools or equipment, but I think Silsila might recognize it from his Rangers days. It's a maintenance kit for cybernetics and enhancements.
Okay, fair enough then.
And
So
you see them, and they're just checking over, and they'll pull out a couple of tools and look at them and that kind of stuff and put them away. They're just checking nothing has been bashed or broken in transit.
So they're probably a lot more dangerous than they appear then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's the conclusion Silsila will come to.
As you all sort of sit there, the comms.
Captain, I'll check the systems while we're up here, and I'll just go about
But
doing dog's body stuff.
What's Yusuf's role on the ship then? What is your main?
Dog's body. I do stuff. I've got datagen. I've got tech. I've got pilot. I've got range combat. They're all low.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've got.
You're
I've
like
got
the
a whole,
intern then. You can do a little
yeah,
bit
I've
of
got a
everything.
whole breadth of skills.
Okay,
And
awesome.
he hasn't really told you much about him, except he says he's from Kua, but he's clearly not, and he's got a lot of tattoos on his face.
Okay. I don't think that would bother Silsila, as you are functional and useful on a ship. Therefore, you fit into his world nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you can carry things, so that's fine.
Do we have 0G slides? Does Shanaz come with 0G luggage?
After a fashion.
Shanaz comes with very heavy luggage
Somebody
of
else
the
picks it
people
up. There's
carry.
no G's on you.
It's
I'm
zero
with-
G for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with it.
However, if we're entering a new system, then it's time to hit the local net and let people know that I'm here and available.
Are we allowed to communicate? Are they, whatever she's called, Nadina, as we board? Because we're heading into an actual blockade.
Mm-hmm. So Nadina, I guess knows, and she perhaps reaches across the breakfast table to towards you and is like, perhaps my employers might offer a compensatory bonus for discretion. People don't need to know you're here.
Of course, second nature. Sorry about that. Just used to it. It's the first thing I do whenever I enter the system. It's kind of the way we operate. But if you don't want me to announce, that's fine.
Maybe if it's needed to get past the blockade, but unless we don't have to let them know.
As you wish. Do you have any information on the captains or crews of the ships operating the blockade?
Unfortunately not. The order is being a tad more secretive than normal.
That's a shame.
A
A little bit of a profile, and I could work up an idea of how we could approach them, should we need to. Possibly how we could discuss, make arrangements. But it's no matter.
She says, "Oh, yes. I should possibly talk to Silsila. I have something that might help, and we should get to it before we get too far from the portal." And she gestures like, "Which door am I going through?" And heads looks.
Just wave ambivalently in a direction.
Is the one towards the front.
So she gets up and she heads towards kind of.
If you get lost, just ask the ship, and the ship will tell you. Okay.
She's like,
Can I ask a question about Noah's ship? Because I realize that Silsila would want to know, like, what sort of ship is it? Is it a merchant trading ship? Is it like a sort of pleasure boat? Is it just a freighter? Do we have any weapons? Any stealth capabilities? How fast can it go? How many afterburners? How long can I keep them on for?
Big frickin' lasers.
Armor, torpedoes.
I mean, I'm not expecting any armor or
Lasers.
torpedoes, but just something that I can see how fast it'll go, rather than just a big fat block that goes at walking space.
Was it 3 miles an hour?
Flies in exactly the same way that bricks don't.
But I realised that Silsilla would not have got on board without doing a little bit of research into it. Apologies for interrupting.
No, it's
I
fine.
really appreciate the cube utilization of your space vessel.
All geometric angles.
We are the Garblag. Lower your shields and surrender your ships.
Or we will talk at you until you wish you had. And if you like, I can just
Yeah.
weeks. That's fine also.
I did make the ship properly. However, I don't.
Okay, no worries.
It's in a hard drive on the table somewhere.
No worries.
So on the upside, at least we know we're safe from space combat.
I mean,
this
I can
week.
just make it up now. Yeah, it
Oh, we
goes
just all
super
die.
fast and has death lasers.
We've got so much ablative armor, it's just silly.
Indeed, it's
Or
And
only
a big
that cardboard.
drill on the front. We can just fly through anything.
Oh yeah,
Or
that's
it's
cool.
so
Yeah,
crap
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Just the line drill.
Yeah,
So-
knowing us though, when we turn the drill on, the rest of the ship would start spinning
yeah,
and the
it's
drill would
gonna
stay
like
still.
snap off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nadina's coming up to talk to Silsilla then.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly cool about the chip.
So it was based on the Scarab class, which is a light freighter.
Okay.
There are 3 versions of this. So I guess we could pick one.
Is there a YT 1300?
No. There is the standard model.
There's one called Blockade Runner. Can we
there is
have
a
that one?
blockade runner, or there is the passenger ship.
If there was smugglers, then a blockade runner would sort of fit. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
we already discussed there was CCTV everywhere because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a blockade runner.
And it
That's, I'm
sounds
good
cool.
with that information.
I like it because its problem is a curse.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well.
noticed that.
I mean, there's always a downside. So
It
I'm
does like
thinking
us.
quite small,
It does have a
quite
chapel,
fast,
though.
maybe
That
a bit of
helps.
stealth.
Yes, the
Ooh.
chapel is helpful.
Low on weapons and armor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll read the Scarab class between weeks.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tuned accelerator, turbo projector, and stealth technology. So everything you've just said, basically.
Beat. With absolutely no knowledge, I guessed it. Perfect.
called it.
We got all the toys.
Channeling Silsilla.
Jafar is a little disappointed he doesn't have a dedicated science lab, but he has made some room in the cargo hold for his portable lab.
I gave myself a little bet you were going to say hot tub rather than science room.
The curse
No,
is,
that's Sharnaz.
Shanaz.
the curse's icons have turned their gaze away from this ship, making portal jumps and longer space travel dangerous. When the problem is activated, you get -1 when rolling for a portal jump, and space travel counts as 1 level higher.
I thought we were going to
Oh,
get to
there's
choose. I was going to say
so
the
many
ship
things
isn't...
that can go wrong with a portal jump.
I do have a talisman to help me, but I was going to say as a curse, we could say the ship isn't an ambi-turner. You can only go left.
All right. So, so the ship is a blockade runner.
Cool.
And Silsilla, she winds her way through the corridors as she's going. She's tapping on a tablet, a tabula, and you'd probably watch on.
I'm going to switch the cameras to something else rather than the hold.
Yeah, so you'd probably see as you're watching, as she finishes like tapping and communicating, one of the guys in the hold,
Yeah.
they look at something and they hit the friend, who then goes to rummage through another box, kind of thing.
Darla and Farouk comes with it.
Yeah.
Do they have data pads?
They have like either,
Okay, yeah, I was
Regular
curious if it was cybernetic.
but it might do. You don't know. So she winds her way into the bridge, and she like taps on the wall or something, like knock knock, permission to enter the bridge.
I don't look at it. I just like snap permission granted and like super focus
Yeah.
on the. I'm assuming we have a view screen rather than just staring at a piece of metal with a cross-eyed look.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm acting like I'm all business.
Okay. She like not timidly, but like you can see she's used to more official vessels. This is like, I don't know, somebody's home. I'm pretty sure there's like a pretty ponies poster in somebody's wall from Nur and that kind of stuff.
Yusuf.
One of the rooms has just still got Musaa Kula cans under the bunk. No matter what you do, you
There's
just
probably
find
a couple
them.
under my chair as well.
That's the curse.
Yeah.
The one with the double caffeine.
The vending
yeah.
machine, whatever you press, it spits.
Our passenger, she sort of knocks on the edge of the bridge. She's like, knock, knock, permission to enter the bridge? And kind of looks in at the thing. And she steps forward when Silsilla's like nods, and she looks around and she maybe laughs a bit, and it's like it's quaint, it's nice, a bit. Maybe looks at some of the stuff that's probably gaffer taped together. It's like, no, it's a good ship.
It's understated.
I'll press a bit down that's peeling away slightly.
Understated. So when I, maybe the pariahs look at it and they're like, that's not very good, and then we're gone. Just don't sit near where all the toys will hit you.
If you want, and depends on the questions that you might not ask, I have a transponder we could attach, perhaps give us a different signal. She looks like I'm suggesting something very illegal.
I mean, that's standard operating procedure. Just look at her like she's being silly and just hold out a hand.
Do you need some help?
It's not for. I suppose I could in a pinch if nobody could do it. It's been a while since I have, but it's in our hold with our luggage. It will identify us as a vessel in the fleet of Emir Ramhaman the Elder, Lord of Dabara, who should have us clearance to breach the blockade.
I think that goes quite nicely with Shanaz and Jafar as well.
Well,
a rich person has lent their Sunday boat to a couple of friends who want to go and check out some cool stuff.
Indeed, perhaps.
Yeah.
I pull out an inventory tabula and kind of scroll through it to their boxes and sort of go, do you want me to go and get it?
She looks very nervous about letting you root through things. I'm sure Farouk would bring it to us. Do you want me to? And she gestures like we should.
You should tell him our transponder's malfunctioning, and perhaps he has a replacement.
I'll get like in a huff and like walk off. Like it's my job to do this. And like sort of walk off of it.
And she looks at you, Silsilla, like, did I offend him?
A little bit.
Oh, and so she's like, oh, that was not my intention. So
I mean, he heard you talk about it, so bringing it up, you can just get Farouk to hand it to him.
She like maybe is like jogs out the room after. Yeah. I'm sorry, friend. I didn't mean to cause offense. I could, by all means, go to the hold and see Dala.
If we're slightly separate, I'm trying to show the captain that I'm useful in all situations. So.
Oh, forgive me. Yes. Apologies. 1,000 apologies. Yes.
It's okay.
By all means, go and collect it. Farouk will. And she begins like tick 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 tick. Boop. Sending messages. Space WhatsApp.
Space app.
Space app.
So, is this something we would install in the cockpit?
Externally.
Externally, we got to do spacewalk and get. No.
I am 0G, man.
Oh, someone says spacewalk. I have a whole exopod for that.
Having watched enough episodes of The Expanse, I can categorically state that would be fitted in that room that's sort of near the bridge, that isn't quite the bridge, but is next to the bridge.
You've got to move the
realign the
isolinear
detector
chips in just the right sequence.
You got to take that one out, put that one
Yeah.
in there, and then put that one back in that place.
But-
And if you do it
Then
wrong, the
you're
whole
done.
ship will explode.
Yeah, you have to have
Yeah.
a lot of tenseness when you're doing it. It's very important.
Not the whole ship at first, just that one guy who sits near the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get it first.
Get a
You've got to
Catherine
get
over
like
the
blown
face.
over a desk so people know it's serious.
Yeah. Jafar will also be in the cargo hold, checking out his beloved exopod and his little portable lab. Oh, so you two look like you might be handy.
They both look over at you in your white suit and that kind of stuff, and they maybe have like a and this other one's got like this little thing that he's pulled out of a box. They look over it and go, "We have our skills. We have our
That's
duties."
useful. Okay, good. Anything that holds back the darkness is welcome.
Oh yeah, we can hold back darkness. Oh yeah, and like there is a definite tone of like we want a bit of a fight here.
I just imagine like stroking the guns while they're saying it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. One of them's
think
got a
my-
Punisher symbol on his gun, you know, that kind of thing.
Maybe you don't need a Dabara and Mithra on the ship. It seems like you've got all the erotic subtext in the cargo hold.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
absolutely, yes.
Oh, what
As
big
the
weapons you've
elegant
got.
gentleman in his white suit and the two sweaty men.
I mean, there's
sweaty,
got to be
there's
some
good air
oil in the
conditioning.
cargo hold somewhere, eh?
Yeah.
Somehow they're still strangely sweaty.
In Jafar's mind.
All right.
They're shiny. At the very least. My cousin, I think he would like you. You are of a similar mind with the weapons.
Actually, you know, given that I know your cousin, as you sit there, you think there is a very definite similarity in the way these guys are packing and stowing and cleaning down their rifles and, you know, the carbines even and that kind of stuff. And perhaps maybe as one of the moves, you can see on like the side of their neck a similar sort of symbol that they've got, like a tattoo kind of thing. And you think fairly certain that these guys are, if they're not current Legionnaires, they're definitely ex-Legion. As they're sort of sat there.
It is part of Jafar's intention to just size them up because there's two heavies clearly on board that are not part of the crew and kind of wants to know which side they're on.
All right. Are you going to make...
Observation?
I think this would be more empathy kind of thing. This is a
Oh,
people one.
empathy.
Yeah, sizing
That's
these
a
people up.
shame, isn't it?
Equivalent of insight.
Yeah.
So just straight empathy?
Maybe
Sure,
manipulation if you want to...
Oh, manipulation.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll take that. That's plenty dice. For Jafar. It's 6 are successes, yes?
2 is a full success, 1 is a partial, 3 is a critical.
Okay, so 1.
Right.
All those dice, 1 success.
So what do you want to like size up from them? Give us a... What are the questions Jafar has as he's looking at Dala and Farouk? Which is the most important one he wants answered?
When the chips are down, are they going to kill him?
You gather from as these guys look like they're all business. When the chips are down, they're probably the only one who they will be concerned with getting out alive is Nadina. They're here for her, whether that's she's their commander, she's their employer, she's their boss, whatever it is. They're there for her. So your sort of feeling is
Everyone else is expendable.
yeah, crew expendable. Oops. Are we playing Alien? I can't remember.
No!
Nelly, can I do while these guys are running around and like getting sweaty and like
Finding the oil.
doing that like bro thing with the big arm muscles from Predator,
Yeah.
can I do a deep dive into the Cult of the Martyr, the
Order of the Pariah.
The priors.
Order of the Pariah, samey, matchy, and sort of get a feel for their philosophy, their morals, their ethics, besides the sort of surface level. Hi, we're nice, we pay for doctors stuff. Why would they be blockading people? What would they respond to best? You know, in the way that that someone in my position should be able to read their customers. How is the best way to approach them? I'm guessing going in like full sexy is probably not my best bet.
Sexy. 11%.
I mean, it would be amazing to watch, though.
Oh.
I mean, they might just all die from embolisms.
Roll the dice
I
and
think
let's
Graham
find
meant
out.
as a viewer.
Yeah, I would make a culture roll.
Oh yes, that is one of my favorites.
Roll 17 dice, please. Ben.
It's not quite that bad.
Yeah.
It is 8 dice. But only 2 successes on those 8 dice.
Okay.
So and success of fullness.
All right. So since the start of the year, the Cyclade celebrations on Coriolis this year were a bit muted because the emissary on Coriolis was found to be dead. There was something to do with a judge who had sent people to investigate this. Turns out they just found a dead body, but it had been kidnapped by the Order of the Prior. It was something to do with that. Something about a mini faction called the Warriors of Holy Light. And they had a secret base on Coriolis, and it was terrible. And now even the Samaritans on Coriolis, that hospital is almost all but abandoned. Folks won't go near there because they think they killed the emissary, even though the Order of Pariah don't acknowledge the emissary of the messenger or any of this nonsense and that kind of thing.
Have they basically been overrun by total fundies?
Like there was a massive backlash, and the Order themselves have tried to like wash their hands and be like, no, it was just those folks on Coriolis
so
kind of
there's like
thing.
a schismatic group among them.
Yeah, but it's caused a kind of like ripple effect, and everywhere like the Order has folks, and that's partly why blockade and stuff has gone up. They're like, no, these are our worlds. We don't want any more. We're going to protect our people. We're going to put a blockade. Only authorized people who we like are going to come and see our home worlds and our planets and all that kind of stuff. So that's sort of why the blockades have come up. Especially anybody with like a Zalosian accent or a martyr tattoo or that kind of stuff. Let me see.
So how best to appear sympathetic to them?
To be sympathetic to them. I think, I mean, there have always been like these sort of fundamentalists who only worship one of the icons and that kind of stuff. They only worship the martyr. So they've always been a little bit odd. Respecting them and not maybe.
But the martyr's even a subset of the judge, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Definitely don't acknowledge that these emissaries are actually the emissaries of the icons. That's blasphemy kind of thing. Right. You gather that they're all a little bit tetchy at the minute, so anything that might wind them up is probably not best.
I'm going to go and change.
She just scrolls through the tabular and then goes, huh. And then just leaves goes and has a montage where we, like, how many outfits does she try before she settles on them?
Oh no, she knows exactly what outfit to go for. Having read that, she's going to pick out her most conservative outfit with the highest collar, the longest skirt.
I was hoping for a montage going from bikini and ending up at like 1940s librarian, just like gradually flicking through them. And at one point,
we'll
you
go
wear
for the
top
least
half plus
jeweled
bikini
veil.
bottoms. Yes.
The
She just
least-
gets hotter. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So Jafar, as you're there, you're sizing these folks up. I guess this
I'm
is
also checking my lab and my exopod and everything else. but
yeah, subtly
also-
like looking over your shoulder, realizing that you're probably just collateral to them. Should everything go sideways, Yusuf and Nadina arrive as one of them gets out this. I don't know whether Jafar would recognize it, but it's the transponder, the replacement transponder kit kind of thing. And she gestures, she says, Darla, please give this to and she just looks at you in like I've already forgotten your name. Oh my God, I'm so rude.
I don't even offer it up. I just step forward.
Give it to him. He will take it. And
it has a name.
Oh, sorry, Yusuf.
oh yes, please give the transponder to Yusuf. They know what we're going to do.
Every member of the crew is important.
Trying to humanize yourself.
How did the two of them react when Nadina comes into the room?
It's not as respectful as you would think. Like, given that you were like they're gonna.
I'm kind of expecting attention.
Yeah, it's more like, all right, yeah, she's still there. She is, kind of thing, rather than yes, ma'am, sort of.
Okay, so it's military and corporate.
Maybe
not-
something like that. Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
I will tell the captain and Shanaz when we have a quiet moment.
So they pass this transponder to you, Yusuf, and they say we should. They look at Nadina. They said we should just check over your fittings for your exosuits if you need. You might have lost some water weight in stasis, which is probably like officially correct, but also it sounds like a bit of bullshit to sort of keep her in one place and under their eye.
Isolate.
Yeah. And she looks at them and she says, well, yes, of course, Yusuf, Jafar, thank you. If you need help with the transponder.
I'll just turn around and walk
You've
out.
already walking
Clearly
away.
they don't want me there.
Yeah.
So
If you need some help with the transponder, please just ask. I'll come. It's been a while since I've fitted one, but I'll be very happy to. And they're like, come and stand over here, Nadina. We need to check you. They're like,
Okay, I'm going to leave this delightful little tableau and go and see my crewmates.
What's the dynamic like the babysitting?
As Jafar
Corporate
walks out,
asset.
I assume we're in a corridor and the door closes so that we
Yeah.
can't see them. I will hand Jafar the transponder.
Oh, thank you.
And Millie, you
What?
can have a dark point. And my eyes go black.
ooh.
Giving up your
I'm going to use
secrets.
my psychic mystic power, Mind Walker,
Oh.
to be in Nadina's perception.
All right.
Love it.
If memory serves, you need to test mystic powers.
I do. So I'm going to try. This is my first go with the mystic power. Here we go.
Have a
So I've
mystic.
got empathy 4.
Oh, we will
and
see if his
mystic
head
powers 2, so I've
explodes.
got 6 dice.
Like a proper scanner.
A scanner darkly, yeah.
I got 2 successes.
Hey!
Excellent. All right. So you hand over the and as we watch you walk towards the camera, your eyes go black. Do you maybe hold on to Jafar for a moment?
Yeah, maybe I hand the thing over, but my power activates before I let go.
Okay. Your eyes fade, and so it's Mindwalker, right? So we see from inside.
So I can't hear thoughts or emotions, but anything that they touch, they see or hear,
Mhm.
I can get. So I'm going to wait. It'll be like a few moments later. So it's like a brief snapshot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming they're having some sort of private conversation, so I want to hear what they're saying.
All right. So you can see, and it's from her perspective, right? You see, and she's looking down. One of these two, like on the floor, and you can see they're fitting, like retightening and strapping boots, and you can almost feel the way they're like, almost if a child kind of pushing her foot and moving a leg around, kind of thing. Like not even like, can you lift your weight, shift your body, that kind of stuff. Literally just manhandling her. And the other one is stood next to her, putting on a glove and tightening straps. And it's like, you need to just remember we're here for the mission. You need to do as you're told. Keep your mouth shut. Behave. She's like, yeah, it's fine. I've only told them what they need to know. We can't just not talk to them. And the other one goes, try it. Might work. She looks down at him as he like shifts her foot. Look, they are going to help us get there, and then we can get the Emerald Disc and we can find out what happened to your ships. It can't have been just in portal space for that time. It must have been drifting out here for a while. They're like, just remember why you're here, and no one will get hurt. Hey. She's like, yes, no, I understand. I'm trying my best. This is very stressful for me. I'm not used to these sort of military operations. Like, well, don't say so much. Like, I'm just very don't say so much. They're like, you feel her being like pulled because the leg as they're fitting one boot, and then he's tightening a strap on a glove, like dragging her the other way. They're treating her with less respect, you realize, than the carbines they were checking over earlier. So you got 2 successes there. Is there anything else like you want to maybe understand from the interaction that you haven't?
I think Yusuf is still quite new to his powers. He's done this a few times before and found it very useful and dangerous to use. But it feels like, I mean, that's probably more than enough for now, isn't it?
Yeah. So Jafar, Yusuf sort of hands you this.
What
maybe
in all of the heavens
slightly, and then a few moments later, he sort of lets go of the transponder. Is that what happens?
Yeah, I let go and then I take it again.
Oh.
Yusuf?
Please don't drop that.
Are you okay?
Yes.
I mean, the last time I had a crewmate who had a moment.
That was what?
We'd encountered a whole new type of life form. So please feel free to talk
happened?
if you wish.
I think, and I look at the doorway, and I'm like, probably further away, Jafar.
I think so. Yes, we will discuss this.
Sorry.
I will take it. Okay. Come, we must go to the bridge.
Do we go past Shanaz's room? Just make a dramatic exit? No, a less dramatic, because she's all sort of...
it'll still be dramatic.
Oh, it's still dramatic.
Formal, but dramatic.
A formal...
There's a lot more swishing, I feel.
Oh, no, we don't swish now.
Oh.
We glide.
Pirouette.
Pirouetting would be ostentatious. This is pariah outfit.
Very crisp lines.
So crisp lines, high collars, almost military cut.
What is it? A gravitonical cleric?
Grammaton cleric from...
Grammaton.
Equilibrium style.
Through rote learning, the master of the tetragrammaton clerics can master their killing proficiency by no less than 120%.
Yes, indeed. So does she want to spend more time composing herself and that kind of stuff?
That's fine. I don't mind coming out and joining them at this stage.
On the bridge or something.
Yes, flat lined skirt, high neck, few little bits of jewellery on the collar, plain veil, a dupatta over the top.
So we have this like, oh, looking very formal moment as you arrive, and then we sort of meet at the bridge back with Silsilla. And you watch, I know you're watching on the CCTV of the hold kind of thing, and they're basically manhandling her into a space suit, to a exosuit kind of thing. Not a particularly fancy one, but they're, you know, and they're tightening straps, they're calibrating things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think the Silsilla will be well aware that between the Rangers and the agency, there's always politics, and falling on the wrong side of that puts you in the expendable necessary loss column. So yeah, but to her face, he's going to be completely, we'll get the job done together, while not trusting her in the slightest. Without anybody telling him, he probably would dismiss Farouk Dala, because at the moment he thinks they're the muscle. Shot caller. But yeah, so are we going to install a transponder?
Yeah, up to you. You have the option.
Yes, I think it's a good idea because it goes with the cover that Shanaz and Jafar provide. Silsilla would definitely be involved in doing anything that alters the ship.
I'd bring it straight to Silsilla. I wouldn't.
I don't mind doing it as a group thing.
I'd arrive and go, here's the thing. Here you go, Captain.
Can we do it as a joint role, or can we aid one another?
You can aid. One person can aid, but it's only one dice. Extra dice for someone.
Who's got the best tech? Because if someone is better than Silsilla,
my
he
tech
will
is 1.
supervise. Altogether, I would roll 7 dice for tech. Anybody beat or equal?
5.
6. 3.
Okay, no worries then.
I think
I have nothing in tech. So.
Jafar's going to put his feet up on the sensor deck.
No, he's not. No. As soon as he does that, Silsilla pushes his feet off. No.
I'm going to hand him a small red hanky as well.
We will
pocket square.
The flight deck.
I'll aid Silsilla.
Wipe down the deck. I am terribly sorry, Captain.
No, it's a pocket square. Put it in your pocket.
You get the manly nod.
I already have a pocket in my pocket.
Switch it out for the red one. Trust me.
So I will roll my 7 dice. Pete, do you want to roll your own dice?
Sure. Shall I roll 1?
Why not? I did all right. I got 2 successes.
I got a 6.
Woohoo! We got 3.
3 successes.
I got a whole load of 2s and 2 6s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I only saw the 2s to start with.
What do we rename the ship?
Oh, can I choose?
Yeah.
You're plugging it in.
Was I? Sure.
Make sure you call it something sober and sensible. That doesn't mess around and isn't linked to any of the icons except the judge.
I'm going to call... Well, I was... Do you say that to him?
Yes.
So I'm going to call it Alsacro, which means hawk.
Okay.
Good. And
I'll put it in the Twitch.
Shanaz is just going to sit in the captain's seat.
No, that's where I'm sat.
Oh, that's where you're sat currently. Sorry, I didn't realise you were sat in it already. I thought you were fitting stuff.
I assume it's all quite small, and I assume it spins around as well. That's how you spell it.
Oh, okay. So
I believe you say Alsacro.
Soccer.
It's the Q sounds like a K apparently.
It's
El Sacro.
It's got a glottal stop on it. Al Soccer.
No, it's definitely Al Sacro. I got an Arabic speaker to teach me how to say it today. Preparation, if I could actually name it. According to her, anyway, it's Al Sacro.
Right.
It almost sounds like crow at the end, which made me laugh because it didn't talk.
Pronunciation may vary over the horizons.
That's true. I guess there's a whole bunch of planets and a whole bunch of accents. Yeah.
Alsaca.
Alsaca.
I like that. It sounds like I'll sack her. No, you sack her.
Well, it's the far future as well. So
you're all
going to sound exactly
We're all going
to
to sack each other, yeah. But yeah, to me at least, it's Al Sacro.
Okay. So we rename the ship.
Really? Whoever Kargan Demon Claw is.
That's what the patrons might have named their ship.
Oh, is it? I did not know that in the
Something
slightest.
similar, yeah.
I literally, my name is Stringfellow, so I wanted my ship to be the Hawk always.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Gentleman, my husband.
You married him.
So we had this moment. I always imagine this moment a bit like in The Expanse, because we mentioned it earlier, where we're like, what do we rename it? And immediately Silsilla's like,
Shippy McShip face.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he would listen to what Shanaz says because he is good at reading people. So providing that the Al-Sakra passes muster and doesn't offend
Perfect.
the pariahs, then,
At least he didn't call it donkey balls.
Well, I mean, if it was going to call it that, it'd have to be Donkey Balls the Third. You have to imply there are other Donkey Balls in existence.
True.
Oh, there always are the donkey balls.
From the technician station in the back room, can I text message Silsilla? Can you do that from the?
Yeah, I'm sure there's
It's a little data pad. Everyone's got a data pad.
Mhm.
there's a little tabula, aren't there? Yeah.
Apple Watch.
I will text Silsilla and say she is not in charge.
I will just lean across to the captain and go, the two goons, they're military, and they view her as maybe an asset, but not the boss.
I will message Yusuf back and say, I think that's very bad news for us. And I guess for Jafar and Shanaz, I'd sort of tilt my head sideways and say, yeah, I don't think we're supposed to come back from this.
Oh, we are definitely expendable. I don't think we are to be expended, but we are.
Don't worry too
expendable.
much. They can't make it past the pariah without us.
But once
Are we-
past, then
Yeah, I
Is this-
mean,
They've got to go
room-
past it both ways.
Silsilla, Captain, is this room secure?
where are you?
No, I'm just in the back of the room. I'm
Just
like
just at a
Oh, right,
station.
okay.
like on a little station in the background, trying to stay out of everyone's way. But like,
So I have no skills in this, but I will say that yes, I sweep for bugs on a regular basis, and always have a camera on my data pad that shows me the flight
Okay.
suite.
okay, they were on those ships. That's their ships. She said to them they were part of the mission or some. They want the emerald disc, not her.
We're on the Ghazali.
I don't know,
Yeah, I mean,
something.
like that's a lot of questions. Like, how did they escape then?
I
What
don't know.
is-
Look, I heard some stuff.
Oh, I don't disbelieve you, not in the slightest. I'm just thinking that that's very odd. And
I have questions.
What?
Remember the
I'll
gas.
look at Jafar like, please don't say anything.
But we will continue that later.
Like, you're going to get me kicked off the ship. Please don't do that. I've got nowhere to go. Look in my eyes,
We're in
like
space.
welling up. eyes.
you're doing the Puss in Boots.
No, yeah, not quite. But yeah, no pause, but the eyes.
Yeah. I guess from Silsilla, he would give out the impression that he feels responsible for you, whether you think he is or not. He thinks he is.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is kind of worrying. I mean, if the secret is too big, we're definitely expendable. I guess we'll have to, see how it goes.
We may have to be preemptive.
Perhaps I'll see if I can leverage Nadina.
I do not think that she is hostile. I think they are possibly
Yeah.
the danger.
I don't think they're hostile. I imagine they're probably just completely ruthless.
Oh,
Efficient.
yeah.
Efficiency is not always comfortable.
And we're on the wrong side of the equals sign.
Not
We
necessarily.
definitely are, yeah.
We can still get this done to such a degree that we become unexpendable.
I would agree. I would maybe
People
suggest.
like you are not expendable. But
People like me can't fly the ship.
It is about telling the right story, Yusuf, and I would suggest that if you are not already, Captain, that we begin to record everything that happens on the ship so that we may tell the story afterwards.
That could be dangerous by itself. I think my opinion is that they are military, so for them, everything is classified.
Everything is classified, but we can control the narrative. They've bitten off more than they can chew.
Okay, so you are saying that the information is our power and not theirs.
Yes.
Okay. So
as is our existence.
Right, yeah,
by being on this ship with two people of, and you'll forgive me if this sounds immodest, but be honest, the status that Jafar and I command between us will be noticed if it is missed.
So we're heading for mutually assured destruction is what we're going for. Like, you could kill us, but we already have the story waiting to go. And unless we send the stop command, everybody knows.
There are too many awkward questions.
Yeah, okay.
Such people do not like the awkward questions.
Okay, sure.
We will need pictures of them.
Look, I don't know anything about these ships or this mission or this stuff that's happened. You know, some of us like have to work our whole lives and we don't get to sit around reading the news. What is all this shit about? What is all this? What the fuck are these ships? What, you know? Yusuf suddenly coming out of his shell a little bit. Do we know? Is it bad shit?
Who would have followed the news of a big disaster a couple of years ago?
Oh, lost ships, absolutely, Jafar.
Yeah, that's more his bag than mine.
Yeah.
Tragic human stories is more my bag. So if there were any like noteworthy individuals, I might have focused more attention on them.
Lost ships, space relics, absolutely, Jafar.
All right, Jafar, dude, make a culture roll.
Oh, yes, please.
12 dice.
19.
Seven. Oh, that's only one.
All right.
Come on, Kraken dice. Not really working for me.
Do you want to push the roll? Pray to the icons and give me a darkness point and push the roll and get more.
I don't want to know more. So yes, I'm gonna push.
We roll everything except you fail.
Give the darkness points to it.
It's fine. Millie saves them up until she's over 20.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Okay. I'm not going through this campaign.
And that's space two more. Tears a ship in half.
So that's 3 successes in the end.
Nice. All right. So Jafar, you sit there and you try and remember what all this stuff
I'm
is
scrolling
about.
back to my notes. I have so many notes.
What
was the ship called?
So the Ghazali and the
My
Zafira.
Grail diary.
It was and most folks, like when you start to sort of recount the thing, will be that stuff, because it was about 3 years ago. There was it 3 years ago? It was a few years ago. I'll get the exact dates in case I've been wrong. Maybe I'll do a proper GM prep stream where I'll go through my notes and show you all this kind of stuff. And maybe I'll go back and watch the actual play I did of the last voyage of the Ghazali and remind myself that too. So there was this Tawan mining colony. They were orbiting a gas giant, mining the stuff there, and there was a big disaster there. The mining colony was falling into the gas giant. One of the biggest rescue fleets was amassed at Coriolis, and it was the main ship that was mustered for it was a luxury voyage ship, really old, called the Ghazali. Massive fees. The colonial agency put out massive emergency fees for folks to go out on this mission to try and save the folks on the mining colony. And its escort ship was the Legion ship called the Zafira. They massed this fleet. Everything was sort of tethered to either the Ghazali or the Zafira. People were put in stasis coffins and that kind of stuff, and headed out that way. On the way, at the portal jump seemed to be fine on the on entry. On exit, the Ghazali was ejected from a portal so close to a sun, it began to fall into the sun, and it itself became the disaster. What also happened was the Zafira, the ship, the escort ship, never exited the portal. A bit of debris and stuff which slammed into the Ghazali, made a mess, but not the actual warship didn't. There were a handful of survivors from the ship. Shanaz, who knows Nur, might know Nur well enough to realize her mum, Sabitha, was on that mission, went on the Ghazali mission, never came back. Handful of people survived. Yusuf might know from other folks that there were a bunch of mystics who survived that mission. And Jafar, maybe because he likes the conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff, the Red Spider Network claimed they had the Emerald Disc from the Ghazali. They had conveniently, and some are like, yeah, so convenient that they absolutely had a reporter and cameraman and camera person, a reporter who has stunning blue eyes. He's gorgeous. He has all the people like Shanaz might know him from that kind of stuff. Stunning blue eyes. The reporter, a camera person, and a techie or something conveniently survived this and claimed to have the Emerald Disc, and the data packets they were going to essentially release to their patrons and that kind of stuff. Top tier subscribers to the Red Spider News Network will eventually get it once they've decrypted it, kind of thing. But they're always conveniently like, they can't release it yet because they're on the run from the Legion, and should they release it, terrible things will happen, and they can't quite release it now because they haven't got a secure network for their subscribers, kind of thing. So everybody's like, whatever. But it was a big blow. The Zafira was a big warship, and there was something else about trained Skavara, trained Nakatra, like trained attack Legion monsters on the ship and stuff. Like, why would the Legion? And it all got there's a lot of conspiracy theories around it, but the Zafira was lost, and a lot of the Legion blamed the Syndicate, blamed the colonial agency stole their ship and were using it to kind of do stealth missions and slaughtered everybody, that kind of stuff. Loads of conspiracy theories. But the fact are there was a rescue mission to save the town mining colony, and the rescue mission became a disaster in and of itself. And the Zafira was lost. Nobody saw it until now. You have Nadina saying that it's reemerged out here in pariah space, and maybe have the
very suspicious. Can I twin my datapad to my little holographic projector and throw up my notes of the disaster, and particularly around the Zafira, to share with the captain and Shanaz and Yusuf? Oh my God, this is what I have. This was of passing interest. The Red Spider is always of interest to me because they have the interesting stories. They claim to have a reporter team, but they have never released. But this Legion warship, now, is it possible that our two meaty friends in the hold were maybe not survivors, but crewmates who were not on the ship.
They were
This
on
is
the
more
other ship.
plausible, I think, than
I
More
do
likely.
wonder if they expect there to be people on the ship. Like, maybe it didn't disappear. Maybe it was doing something.
Well, portal travel is like that, though, isn't it? I've heard stories, many stories of people going missing for years or decades, reappearing in the wrong place at the wrong time, sometimes before they left. I don't know how much of it is true, how much of it is false.
It's a wonder we use them at all, isn't it?
well. Otherwise, it is a very long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As the first comers will attest.
Mm. This is true. So there are many rumors and many conspiracies, and I'll get the hologram to start doing the whole red string, different
Oh,
bits of
nice, yeah.
concepts, and
Like a red spider
I hand out
Yeah.
popcorn.
yeah, we'll have sort of representations of battle monsters and the ship, and the little teaser mention of the Legion blaming the consortium and thinking they're using it for Black Ops, and now we've been hired by the consortium. So there are many stories, and we need to tread carefully. But
If I might offer a counterpoint to your stories,
please,
the Order of the Pariah, who are out here, and they're feeling angry and embattled and on the back foot. They've been put in a position by this subgroup whose names I've just forgotten again.
Warriors of Holy Light.
Yes.
Warriors of Holy Light, who were among them, who have done them a great disservice. They've tarnished their reputation, brought them low.
Good.
Well, good in some ways, bad in others. They were operating many
Bad
hospitals.
for us right now because they're all annoyed. Yeah.
Bad for us right now, which is why if we do encounter them, the most important thing that we can do is to not antagonize them. We need to defuse the situation. So those two shooters down there in the hold are going to be the worst people to encounter the Order of the Pariah right now. If we do encounter them, or we do need to make our way free.
Well, that's why they're in the hold and we're up here.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I can control the
I mean,
doors
they're
from
not
up here.
want to see this, but you know.
Well, let's bear in mind that we need to keep them as a resource, but we shouldn't put them in front of the Pariah at all.
Yeah, I mean, accidental malfunction, take me 20 minutes to fix it, no problems.
If we encounter the Pariah, then we need to show them a sensible, stern, sober face that can present a reasonable explanation for why we're here. The Emir.
Yeah, I'll explain about the transponder in case anybody doesn't know and who we currently are.
That's excellent. The Emir is a very generous man and well known for lending out his vehicles. So it's entirely possible that the professor could be here under his aegis.
He is a patron of the explorative arts, yes?
With me acting as his agent on board, factor, whatever you want to call it.
Diarist, my memory, you are the ones that makes it real for everyone else.
And then we control the narrative for why we are here, and we can make our way past them as we need.
I love it. I think that's perfect. It's part of the reason why I accepted the transponders. I thought we could go with that as a, oh, you caught us, but hey, we're here explanation.
We're just here on a quiet little voyage
We were
of
just
exploration.
seeing how fast a ship could go. Radar doesn't work, so we didn't know your ships were there.
Clang.
Welcome, Raiders.
Ooh, exciting.
And yes, we're
Yes, we can
perfectly
just show them the
prepared
gaffer
to
tape. I'll
meet,
turn on the interior cameras.
discuss, negotiate.
So as we were sort of debating,
I think you'll find that boring indifference will probably be more convincing to them if we're just trying to look like people trying to make our way about our business. But you do the talking. I'm not. I'll be checking on the systems.
You're doing a wonderful job yourself.
Boring
Please
indifference
carry on.
would be excellent from the crew. Imperious self-assuredness is probably our greatest ally.
I can do total intellectual arrogance if you like.
Excellent. Yes.
Mm.
Imagine that you are lecturing your intellectual inferiors.
You said
On something
imagine.
really simple.
The
Like-
the red handkerchief is because the Order of the Pariah favor white and red as their colors.
Ah,
So
I will
by
change my tie.
psychologically reinforcing their image of what they would hope to see in others, we can present to them a more friendly face than they might be used to, and then taking them seriously and listening to what they have to say will immediately knock them onto a more friendly footing with us.
I was going to suggest we all dye our beards red, but I'll take that back from what you just said.
Quickly, a makeover.
I think then we look
I mean,
a little bit more
yeah,
like
yeah,
pirates.
okay.
I'm
Make
happy
a
to do
montage.
makeovers for all of you at any time.
I was
Cool,
thinking
cool,
maybe
cool.
a
Could
little
you make my
red
cheekbones stand
eyeshadow
out?
for Jafar. It would be very nice, but also I would change my tie and the hat band on my hat. I don't do that very often, but for this, I think maybe it is life-saving.
Do you
No
have
need
a
to go over the
cummerbund?
top.
No.
I leave
What?
the room of the privileged people arguing about what color their hat bands will be.
Oh,
Go and do some boring deck work that means the ship will keep running.
Go mop
Oh.
the deck, Yusuf.
Well,
so sorry that we're
Where-
contriving a way to keep you alive.
where was
I'll be
Yusuf
fine.
sat?
That's
Just,
a
in the,
fact.
just like at
behind
the
us, I
back
think.
of
I
the
did
bridge.
think
Like,
you were
at
another
any-
On
balloon
his
to
high
start with.
horse, that's where he was sat.
Like, is he
Got like a bar stool at the back.
just a, was he like at an engineering station or
yeah,
that kind
engineering
of
station,
Okay.
just checking
So
power
I
levels.
think you have a
and
chair
stuff
on
like
wheels, so you can just slide side to side and check that station and that station.
stuff? Just
that. Yeah,
checking
probably.
stuff.
Yeah.
Probably necessary because I can't operate anything on this
No.
deck.
Is anybody
Nobody touches anything. apart
has
from
anybody
Yusuf.
sat near like the sensors or
Yeah,
I'm sat in the
Jafar
middle
was
with all
sat
the
near the
important
sensors.
stuff.
all right?
Like he's far too. This is my ship. I'm going to fly it.
Jafar keeps trying to put his feet up while the captain's not looking.
Damn right you cannot. No, you will not accept that in the slightest.
All right, so there's one moment like Yusuf sort of is like, oh, feeling privileged, kind of, and sort of slowly disappears, like fades into the background as he's become very accustomed
Does he
to.
just stand very still?
Yeah, he stands incredibly still, slowly eating
Moves backwards into the wall.
popcorn.
Like Homer through the hedge. I was going for the Drax
Yeah.
the Destroyer rap, but yeah.
But as we sort of look, and maybe Jafar is just about to put his things and Silsila moves, there is like a contact on the radar, like a ping. Something has you have realized something is in range, which ultimately means they realize you're in range. Potentially, you do have a stealth kit though.
Yeah,
don't you?
that's what I was going to say.
Are we running active sensors, Captain?
I would. No, I don't think I would have. I would have, like, we're a blockade runner about to run a blockade of the pariahs. So we'd be in, like, low power mode. Is there the space
That's the
equivalent
stealth
of-
button. I want to press the stealth, lean over laboriously and press the stealth button.
Black
You
lights,
just
come
find,
on.
like, my hand, which like this, just over the button, as you're like,
Black alert.
Yeah, you change the light bulb, Yusuf. That's your job. You change the light bulb.
The blue one now? Blue alert?
The very low watt blue one, yeah. So we can
Oh,
barely see anything. Yeah.
Hope alert.
That's a bloody thing.
So I haven't said, so if you don't want that, then that's perfectly fine. But I don't think I would be going in whatever the equivalent of low emissions mode is. Like, not just actively blasting radar or LiDAR.
Yeah, we're not
everywhere.
doing active sensors at this point.
No,
we're slightly more
we're Red
sneaky.
October is what we are. But as we didn't say, if you want to like, well, that's tough on you. You've just been driving along normally. Then that's
Hold on,
perfectly
I
fine.
shall switch to my Russian accent.
All right, so stealth
Sure.
How
technology
about that?
the ship has. The ship is fitted with the latest in high absorbent duraceramics and a zero signature radiation shields. Gives a -1 to signature, and the ship can disappear during combat.
That's cool. Would I know how to like turn up the stealth so we just look like a random reflection of a rock with a high albedo?
I mean, I guess that means you're probably just drifting in a really odd pattern, kind of thing. Like,
yeah, to
like
be fair, I think currently we're far away from the blockade, so I'd just be driving towards it. But it is fair to say, with the low emission thing, we possibly wouldn't see you until we were quite close.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay.
But you are reasonably close enough to have picked up a massive Order of the Pariah ship.
All right then. So, are we going full stealth? Or are we saying hello? I can say for certain that Farouk and Darla would say full stealth.
Can we be inconspicuous?
I think so. It's a pretty stealthy ship, yeah.
Well, go stealthy, but if we need to say hello, we can.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to turn on whatever stealth buttons I've got. You know what, Yusuf? You can press the button. You got to like very firmly press it though, authoritatively. All right, there we go. Yes.
If you can find me any more information on the ship,
it's going to be visual because stealth mode isn't going to be like active sensors.
It's going to be very hard.
If you know, you could look at the
lights dim on the ship.
Control a camera. I mean, if the ship has a name, would that help you?
It's a start.
Do they have an IFF code? Are they signaling? Is their transponder loud and clear? Maybe this will help.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the line is, because we would be defo like just passive stuff. But if they're broadcasting strongly enough, you could pick that up, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah.
They're not going to be skulking, are they? They're part of a blockade. They want people to know
they will
they're
be
there.
like, hey, we got tons of guns. Bugger off or say hello.
Yeah, so if they're being loud enough about it and just general broadcasting, then there's a chance.
But yeah, I guess we at this point will turn the engines off to just coast past them. With my fingers very firmly on the big buttons labeled afterburners.
Jafar is going to start looking at the astrogation data to see if there's any asteroids, Cooper objects, comets that we could kind of tag along with.
How close we are to our destination as well.
So you are about 3 days away from, like, if you boot it at best speed, 3 days away from the moon. You need to take your guest to. Don't have a name for the ship, but let's assume it's like something like a passage from their holy script. You know, it's like Psalm 17, verse 3. So it's
smite anyone who looks funny.
When the lofty are brought low.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Smite the unholy with pamphlets.
Indeed, yeah. So its IFF will be something like P23S17, which if you're from the Order of the Pariah, you will know that it is smite the unholy with pamphlets.
Expecting the blockade to be here because it was 3 days away. I sort of would have expected.
So the blockade will be near the gate rather than near where we want to go. Makes more sense to blockade the gate than anywhere else in system.
Yeah.
True.
Well, once we've got the IFF, can I start researching anything more about the ship? If there's anything we can find out about the captain, the crew, any noteworthy engagements, anything relevant that the ship has been involved and invested in, what kind of actions they've taken, have they been decorated for nobility, are people shit scared of them because they commit war crimes, that kind of thing.
Yes, on the last one.
Yes.
Probably
some war crimes.
I am also, while Shanaz is doing that, I'm going to turn the cameras on in the hold and then send Nadina a message to advise there is a warship within close range and that we are attempting to glide past. And then I'm going to leave the cameras on so we can all see what happens. You know what? Let's hit record as suggested.
Good. So you space texter, instant message,
quantum message.
you message Nadina, and she
CBBM.
yeah, she gets this, pings up on her tabula, and she immediately kind of goes, like, you can see her immediately bristle, and she says to them, and they're probably just there drinking tea or something, like she's just sort of sat hunched, like scrolling through a doom scrolling kind of thing, and she sits up, and you see she says something along the lines of like, oh, the order is here, or we've encountered a warship, and one of them immediately like pulls down a tabula to see what it says, like she's given no privacy kind of thing, and she sort of bristles at this and shows them your message. For what does your message say, Silsila?
I will just say, heads up, Nadina. We've encountered the first part of the blockade. Pariah warship, or whatever class it would be.
It's a destroyer.
Destroyer class Pariah warship.
And then signs it off by saying "uwu" and
Uwu.
puts like loads of hearts.
I mean, not this time. No.
One kiss.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Maybe I replace the A with an X in her name. But yeah, just a like factual, not bland, but to the point update. And I just put gliding past.
And you see one of them. Go. What would he ask? He sort of goes. Yeah. So you see him say something, and she ticks, and it's like and it's a question. Blockade run, stealth ? Or transponder encounter ?
I'm just going to reply, aiming to glide past, plan B, ready to enact.
All right, so this the Legionnaire looks at it and is like, he gives like that sort of, all right, yeah, okay, and you see them like sort of settle in, sit down, almost in what I guess Silsila knows is like they're sort of like sitting, what they've got their carbine across their lap kind of thing. They're sort of like quietly getting ready for
the calm before the storm.
Yeah, they're that kind of stuff. One of them, you see them sort of scratch, like I guess, yeah, I definitely guess based on Silsila's sort of background, it is very much like those little pre-combat rituals they're kind of going through. This one's, this is the equivalent of like Drake sort of banging his helmet on the side of the thing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would have ferried people like this around as the bus driver.
So as I'm going to make a roll for them.
I mean, are we opposed rolling?
Stand by all lasers.
No, like if they spot us, I'm just gonna like appear to be incompetent. Like I'm gonna press all of the buttons, the sort of thing.
Just like bleep.
Release the disco ball.
It's my birthday.
Party flares.
Yes, that's what the chap is. Party flares.
Gonna make a roll.
You know what? If they spot us, we'll fake a conversation about disco balls and what kind of party we're going to have, and then I'll accidentally turn on our comms so they can hear us having a conversation about parties before realizing, hi.
And then we will
A
just
lot of
lambast
dice,
you,
Millie
Captain, for
Rowland.
not hiring a comms professional.
They have sensitive senses.
Oh, well, you're all terrible censors and your mothers aren't proud of you. There you go. They won't work anymore.
So harsh.
I know, I was like, aim for a PG insult, Graham. Go PG.
All right.
Still somehow more cutting because of it.
All right. So there's a tense couple of hours as we're slowly sort of trying to get under the radar and pass by this section of the blockade. We have like this view as perhaps the Hawk, our freshly renamed ship, sort of tumbles in this odd sort of pattern to try and deflect sensors in a natural way.
Yeah, as if we are
just debris, just a rock,
object,
an unpowered object, that kind of stuff.
Keeping our distance, but not looking like we're keeping our distance.
I have a whole data pad full of astronomical objects, so we can try and match the behaviors of one of them.
And just as you're ready to be like, oh, praise the deckhand, thank you for getting us through this.
I'm also trying to teach these two how to play bagatelle.
The comms crackle to life, and we hear like a broad sort of hailing frequencies open style things. An unidentified vessel in Sector 5. In the name of the martyr, power down and prepare for inspection.
All right. I'm going to turn on really loud disco music. And when
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do we not want to think we're idiots? Because
there's thinking we're idiots and there's thinking we're decadent, and we don't want them thinking we're decadent.
Very much not.
My
What if
initial
we were
idea
in
of
prayer?
turning the comms on and we all go whoop whoop. It's the sound of the police. That's probably not good, right?
No, we need to stick with the story that we're here under the aegis of the Emir, and that we are supposed to be here, and that we respect their sovereign territory and are just passing through on the way to a thing for the Emir.
Do you want me to appear as incompetent or not?
No.
No, they will not like. No, we need to be judged as competent, but
they're less likely to board us if we're
penitent.
competent.
We need to be penitent, pious.
Oh, okay, yeah. So out of respect, we were simply passing, looking to appear non-threatening. Sure, I'll immediately answer then after this discussion. Are you talking or am I talking? Should I talk first and you can take over?
You could do the initial interview, just be apologetic.
And what did they say again?
And if they demand to speak to someone in charge, then pass them on.
So yeah, the message repeats 2 or 3 times while you're all like, no party music, no party music. What are we going to do? This track? No, not that track. That kind
of
stuff.
For some reason, I've got like a DJ station next to me along with the flight controls. Yeah,
Venga boys.
I mean, not that. No, not that incompetent.
It shoot you out the sky for that,
doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I blame them.
And it repeats: unidentified vessel in Sector 5. In the name of the martyr, power down and prepare for inspection.
Okay, I'll
like
answer.
This destroyer, the Psalm 16, I can't remember what we called it, but it is now like literally moving towards you. It knows where you are.
Easy 25-17.
So I will reply saying, well met and praise the martyr, Psalm 16. This is the ship, whatever the Emir called it. We called it the Hawk, didn't we? So I'll call it the Hawk. On loan from the Emir, etc., etc. Would you like me to power down or move towards you?
So in the name of the martyr, power down by order of Salah Hakim. Will power down and be boarded.
Salah Hakim,
no, don't power down. Demand that we be allowed to continue. But that's okay. You can report this conflict.
Okay, I will say I would personally be happy in the name of the martyr to power down. However, we are compelled to continue by his virtue, the Emir.
And there is a pause. Most people just power down when a destroyer heads towards them. And there's a change of voice.
Good, better, an actual person.
Higher up, yes.
There's
No
a
longer
change of
talking to the
voice, and it says, I am Salah Hakim of...
Is it appropriate to say Salah Hakim?
I'm Salah Hakim of the... What did we say? Smite the unbelievers with pamphlets. Captain of Smite the unbelievers with pamphlets. Transmit manifest and personnel data immediately, or prepare to be boarded.
No problems at all. We have that, don't we? So I'll send it over. I'm not going to stop moving, I guess, at this point, but we're just essentially drifting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally just send credentials for Jafar.
And you?
If they need them, send Jafar's credentials first.
Okay, so what I'm
and
going
say
to
that we don't have a
is
cargo manifest. We are
I'll
prospecting
send,
on behalf
like a list
of the
of
Emir.
Jafar's equipment, like his exoskeleton and his science lab, and then
Yeah.
I'll also send like a mini biography of Jafar.
Absolutely.
How does they not know?
It's 400 pages
3
long.
volumes.
It's
the short
rejected
version.
for being
Okay.
too
The mini
big.
biography,
Like you can
yeah,
only
but essentially,
you can
Your
only send an
file
attachment.
is not in the right format.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can only
I'll
send an
send it as
attachment.
a rich text file. Everyone knows what that is. In Comic Sans.
Oh, it's just evil. They're going to shoot us now.
Yeah, they open fire
Well, yeah,
immediately.
I'll send
The
that
virus.
over and say, I am
Friends
the
don't let
pilot
friends use
of
Comic
the
Sans.
vessel on loan from His Highness the Emir. Jafar, sorry, what was your surname, Jafar?
Rashad.
Touches stuff and blows it up. Licks the
Jafar
artifact.
touches stuff.
Jafar licks the artifacts.
Yeah, so
No,
Jafar,
that's someone else.
on recognizance to Jafar Rashad, I've sent over a small snippet of Master Rashad's achievements and accomplishments for you to review, and I'm sure we can converse once you've done such a thing. Thank you.
There is a moment, like they're obviously somebody is reading these.
Googling
By a
Jafar Rashad.
torpedo.
Yeah. Have you powered up like sensors and stuff, or are you still just
No,
sort
I'm
of
just still drifting along.
okay?
I'll say apologies. We are in a period of quiet contemplation and reflection to allow Jafar to complete his studies without us disturbing him.
I'm communing with the traveler.
Hmm.
I must not be disturbed.
Yeah, but I can't say that to the people of the martyr.
They cray.
They cray cray.
Cray.
After a moment, Salah Hakim is like, this ship does not contain one person. Transfer all personnel files immediately or be fired upon.
Transfer voice over to me.
I will absolutely say apologies. Allow me to transfer you, and then I will just hand over the mic.
Please hold.
Please hold.
Please hold 1 moment. You want me to transmit or not?
Yeah, pass him over to me.
Okay,
And
off you go then.
transmit. Captain Hamid, is there a problem with our bona fides?
In order to pass through the blockade, we must validate credentials of everybody on board.
The only credentials of any note on board are those of Professor Rashad. Everyone else on board is a low-ranking servant in service to the Emir. Everyone has been vetted already by the Emir's staff himself, and we should simply be able to pass through. I have it on the authority of the Emir himself that we should be allowed clear passage through your blockade. We represent no military. We represent no corporate interest. With great respect and true humility, we request your permission to continue on our journey so that we might take the professor to the place where he is seeking an artifact that the Emir himself is hoping to display in honor of the judge.
I get to roll some dice and you get to roll some dice.
Surely there's got to be a bullshit roll there somewhere.
Yeah.
It is a dice off.
As you have fitted the false transponder, you can have +1 to your roll.
Okay.
As you can, maybe you see this very stern-looking face in some like probably hat and no makeup, nothing decadent or fancy, very stern-looking. But the walls and the background and everything is beautifully like inlaid. Like the Order of the Prior ships are almost like cathedrals with sort of got a bit of a Warhammer style vibe to them. But
yeah. Do you want me to like boost the volume and stuff? Add a bit more bass in?
Is he straight?
They don't give me that much information in the book, so probably.
Yeah, I mean, how do you tell visually?
Because if he is, I get a +2 to my manipulation.
Sure.
Now, I'm not going to try and romance him.
He is
Probably not up for romance.
Probably
Yeah,
not
no.
up for romance.
No, he's not.
But since we're using the name of the Emir to glide us past this, can I use the wealthy
repressed,
family talent?
Ooh, what does the wealthy family talent do?
Gives me another +2 to manipulate a situation where
+2.
it is relevant when we're talking about rumors of wealth.
Do you
And
know who my
prestige.
father is?
You know.
It's exactly. It's the do you know who I am?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You can use that because we're bandying about the Emir, Rama,
Yeah, we're throwing names
Rahalam,
around.
the Elder.
Okie dokie.
Why do
How
I
many
feel
dice
like
now,
poor Hakeem is
Ben?
not gonna win this role?
I
Probability.
do not
There's that
have
whole
enough
monitor stuff
dice.
anyway.
But I'm gonna.
Roll some of them again.
Don't have enough 6-sided dice.
I'm
I've only
gonna-
got 10 in
What are
the
you rolling?
cupboard with me.
74 dice.
No,
You
I'm not
play
rolling
Warhammer.
74. The
How
rest
many
are
are you
all
rolling?
outside.
You need
I'm
like
rolling
an extra pair of
13.
hands to check them all.
Oh, the first roll's off to a roaring start with 3 successes. And then I'm re-rolling.
I
You
like to
praying?
think that-
Three.
Do you
No,
know?
no.
Fucking
I haven't got
no.
enough dice, so
Who
I've
I
got to
am.
re-roll 3 of them.
Like you're praying for this? Okay.
Now I've got 4 successes in total
Nice.
to manipulate him.
I don't
Alright.
even think you answered. You just went.
Yeah. So, all right, he gets 1 success, so he's vastly out manipulated here.
And I'm malicious as well. So if that causes him any stress,
Of course
he
it
takes
does.
extra stress.
The pretty courtesan is shouting at him.
I mean, that
Yes.
might not be a good thing for the man with the big warships.
Yeah, but it's at the same time, this is a Chihuahua standing up to a Doberman and going, "Do you know who I am?"
So what is it like? What is it? She puts him like what is the bit that in this sort of conversation where he's like, no, I need to know everybody, kind of thing.
But you only need to know the one person. He's an archaeologist. We represent no threat.
Does he perhaps recognize who you are and you leverage that? Because he's on the bridge, right? And he shouldn't know
Yeah.
who a courtesan like you is. He's a pure member of the Order of the Prior kind of thing.
That's very true. But I'm acting up at the minute as a righteous, beautiful woman. And obviously beauty is a symbol of purity, and I'm wearing all white. So how could something so perfect be acting with any kind of ill intent?
Oh, okay. So he totally falls for you. Is that the way it sort of
That's
swings?
the vibe we're going here.
Very
It's
well
like
starched clothes, haven't you?
there is absolutely no way that this vision of angelic purity from the emissaries could possibly be speaking falsehood.
Yeah. So, like, I wonder how he plays it off. So, like, there's this back and forth, the conversation, like, and he clearly at some point decides that some junior Order of the Prior, like a lower rank, it's like, why have you told me to harass this penitent archaeological journey for the Emir? you're, and you can see him like, forgive me, Professor. May the martyr bless your journey. Continue. And you can almost as like the conversation, you can hear him like, why would you do that sort of thing? Like he's been caught out, or he's decided now he's going to make somebody's life hell.
Well, we'll let him go with a little bit of a gentle letdown with thank you so much for understanding this holy mission, Captain. May the martyr guide you and protect you.
May your days be long.
Yeah. And anybody who's like, is this conversation, is it like broadcast wide throughout the ship? Do the folks in the hold get to hear it?
That's kind of up to Silsilla, really.
No? Okay. So you kind of see on the view screen, they're still sort of there, like hours into it. Like one of them is probably eating some sort of protein bar kind of thing. Another one is checking magazines and that
Getting
kind
your
of stuff.
pom-pom.
No, they're not getting the pom pom.
Doing a shake.
Yeah.
You think we should just leave them there for a little while longer? It's quite quiet without them.
Yeah, we could get order an Amazon delivery with a rolling machine or something for them.
You don't really want juiced up steroid nuts freaking out in the cargo hold, though, when they don't know what's going
It's
on.
good if they don't know what we've done to get us through, so they don't understand our capabilities fully.
Quite.
Okay. So it is from this point a 3-day journey to.
I will message them
moon.
once we've resolved the situation to say glide successful.
Okay, so you don't tell them you like negotiated through. You make out like you just.
I just say glide successful. I mean, we haven't gone to full burn. Fuck it, let's run. I just say glide successful.
Okay, so when you send this message down to
Nadina, always
Nadina, you can see like she visibly sort of like leans back, takes a breath, kind of thing, and then after like she talks to one of them, and there's a very definite like, oh, and like moves the carbine away and that kind of stuff. And
I mean, they must know they can't fight a warship rifle.
I know, but they were expecting a boarding.
They wanted
party
to
or
try,
something.
though,
Boarding
didn't
party.
they?
Bit of
Yeah,
fun.
okay, boarding party.
Yeah, so there's a visible like she relaxes. She was like absolutely like stressed. Like
God, does she seem like a paper pusher to you guys? She's not an agent or an operative in the slightest. I'm starting to think.
I think she's cover for them to be out here.
Yeah,
I think
she
there's
seems
more to
like
her than that because she's tooled up in a battle suit.
that she doesn't know how
No,
to
I
fit
think
herself. That they
No,
have
they've-
to fit
they've
for.
put her in that. The way
She's
they
like the
hassled her. and
data analyst or something.
Yeah.
Could be.
She's the face. That's it.
It may be useful to try and determine what her skill set is, because that may inform on what they are actually out here for, apart from the ship. But she must bring something, otherwise.
They told her not to say more than she needed to.
So she knows
said-
more.
She said, I've told them all that they need to know. What am I supposed to do? Not talk to them? And they said, try it.
Does anyone have
can get her to
any
talk.
data gin skills, or can what I want to do is
One.
either intercept some actual comms or just fake that we have, and ask her if she can like decrypt them.
okay, so you wanna.
I've got data gin 1.
I mean, it's entirely possible that they are sending messages to other ships, and we can just download some of that and ask her if she can decrypt it.
I mean, there's probably like regular broadcasts between all the order ships, if only for like, it's 4:00 prayer,
Yeah.
sort of.
But if
Or
those are
positioning
encrypted,
and, like-
you could ask
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
That at least tells us if she's like a data gin.
So what do you want me to do, Captain?
I think we can, I guess, either we ask her to report to the cockpit, but I guess that only a couple of us are here instead of all 4 of us, and then we ask her to if she can decode these or decrypt these. we intercepted these while we were ghosting past. We don't know what they mean. Can you tell us, maybe, confirm they didn't spot us? And we can.
I can get inside her head if you can distract the boys.
I was thinking maybe I would make some dinner for everyone, and then could invite the boys there, and this would be a small distraction.
Okay.
Dinner for everybody, put everybody at their ease.
If we can do it in a casual way rather
a
than
little alcohol, maybe.
Are you talking a boys' night, Jafar?
I'm not exclusive. It could be.
But it means that Shanaz and Nadina would be the only people who can't come to boys' night.
And I'm completely harmless. After all, I'm a brainless celebrity who knows nothing.
True, but it also means...
I think our good captain is attempting to be circumspect and what is the word? Sneaky.
And I agree entirely. That's what I mean. They won't see me as a threat. Any one of you could be a threat. Yusuf we know little about. He's got the tattoo thing going on. He's that whole menacing darkness angle to him. Silsila is the ship's captain, can fly and shoot guns, has some kind of military experience. You yourself, Professor, you're an expert in various intellectual fields, a powerhouse of the mind, whereas I'm an idle celebrity on the chirper circuit. I can't possibly be any risk to them. They'll be safe leaving her with me because of women's things. Men like that are very easy to get past.
Do I have to go to the dinner?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have a lovely little waistcoat you can wear and a little handkerchief to put over your arm.
Okay.
Nice red hat.
More importantly, you can ask them about guns. They love to show off guns.
Also this.
Sure, I can talk guns.
You have a carbine, don't you? So, you could measure
do.
weapons.
It's old and it's a bit, I have to really pay attention to it so it doesn't fall apart. But
yeah, you could ask them for tips on
It's a classic. They love that kind of thing.
You could put it that way.
Right. Yeah. How does one oil your weapon correctly?
So is this like maybe
Hang on, this isn't like Jafar hanging out with them in the cargo docks. I'm not.
I could show you, but you probably can't afford it.
Cargo bay again.
Is this like poker night or whatever it is you're arranging?
Oh yeah, that's
poker
cool.
night. That's a good idea.
Okay, yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Is this like
Baccarat.
on the
I'm going to try and teach everyone Baccarat.
Is this on like the middle? Because it's a 3-day journey to the moon. So is it like one day to calm down after running the blockade, and then another day to?
I think so, and also it takes a long time for the tabbouleh to come up. So
yeah, make some food.
We've decided in chat that it's not Amazon; it would be Nile.
Yeah, Nile.
Very good.
More appropriate river.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done, Chad.
Yeah. Have a biscuit. So all right, so we Dala and Farouk are well up for Baccarat night. They probably have some tobacco or something. Like, we got this from a bar on Coriolis. Don't mention that. That kind of stuff, and a bottle of Kohol from.
Yeah,
They're so
I
edgy.
imagine that.
I'm up for all of that.
Silsila's got a stash. If Yusuf doesn't have a stash, then I'll present it as being from both of us.
I don't have a stash.
That's
I have
fine.
I
have very little actually.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're on the low key depressants rather than the stimulants, I think.
Okay.
I thought Opal was knockoff heroin.
I think
That's precisely why I turned it down.
Not do that.
Drugs bad, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, knock off heroin. Great.
All right, so they're well up.
Yeah, we'll call that methadone.
Yeah.
They're well up for a bit of gambling, a bit of booze and
Yep.
such and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll just talk shit about famous people. Obviously not Shanaz.
Talk shit about Shanaz. Fake shit about Shanaz.
Okay. Did you see how many crates of dresses we had to bring on when we, that kind of stuff?
Let's start a rumor that one of her arms is false.
Wooden leg. Wooden leg.
We're getting deep
We
into
never
the
see
evening.
both legs in her photo.
Do you have
Yeah.
any idea how much money I paid for this biosculpting?
Well, that's why it's a ridiculous rumor, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll get the hooker pipe out. Jafar will break out his academic stash.
Little tiny blue elephant to play the keyboard for you.
Stash.
Yeah, love it.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
purely for experimentation.
This was given to me, I think, at one of my degree ceremonies. I've been saving this for a special occasion.
I would say that Stilla does have methamphetamine, but he's not sharing them. They're for when you really need. Yeah, like the pilots
pilot.
do get them.
It's
They've
your
got-
pilot boosting.
Yeah. So he
Pilot's
definitely has some.
Yeah.
All right. So on the middle of this journey, so you've got time to perhaps sober up and get ready to get whatever is the like.
Yeah, you're not going to get too messed up.
Not gonna be messy.
For the first
these
night, you've
boys.
got 2 days to recover.
Oh, okay, like immediate. Okay.
One who's physically perfect and only needs 1 day to recover, but okay.
All right. So after the blockade, we're going to break bread and have like baccarat night. Some good food is
We're
going to be
gonna
made,
break drugs, I think, rather than bread.
and have a
From the
lads'
sound of it.
night.
It's quite low-level drugs. Come on now.
Yeah. Okay.
How do we play this?
Yeah. So
Baccarat.
Jafar's gonna educate you.
Just I'm
They
gonna try and sit in between them and see
I
if
don't
they're
think
all right
where
with
I'm
that.
from, we played Baccarat on Friday night.
that's fine.
Like
Like
the boys, you know.
Like knife seized.
If you've got some chickens, he could teach you how to play throw the knife at chickens.
Oh, I know that game. I'm very good at that game. Prefer the sharp
Farouk
stick at
is like
chicken.
Farouk is like, yeah, we've played that game too. You know, they
Throw, Polo.
yeah, they're very good. Farouk, like partway through the night, is like, because they get into it. Like this is like that camaraderie thing. They you've gone through the thing, and they're all up for like an evening where they get to just be legionate, and they warm to you as they've spent some time with you, kind of thing.
I will say, to be fair to Shanaz, we're only going to say you've got like a fake arm to get them to think of you as harmless. It's part of the facade.
They can't afford to check anyway.
You know what? We'll tell them that as well. You could be sure, but you're too poor by far.
So Farouk, who has been suspiciously always gloved like Luke from he like when you start talking about fake arm, he's like, oh right, we really, because he like unscrews his hand,
Oh, my God.
puts it in the pot, sort of thing. Fake.
If I win that, I'm
Does he put
fucking
his
keeping
eyeball on
it.
the middle
I
finger?
mean,
Oh, I
and
really
then
you
want
know,
to
like
win
the
this
dice
hand
people
now.
hang in the wind mirror. I'm having your hand. Do not lose this, Farouk, or I'm keeping it.
What have you got that screws into that?
And he's like, well, right, I've got
This army knife.
I've got like a combat hand, which
Combat hand. What's that? Like a
Well-
big hand.
Oh,
like
It's
a
when you
It's got a
throw at
really
people.
big middle finger.
Yeah.
I've got the
But it's
weak.
sharp. It's got
It's
a
just
knife
a
on
really
the
big
end.
yeah.
fist.
Oh yeah.
I had a friend who like punched someone in the face and it exploded.
Have you guys seen Jane Silent Bob 2?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
like
cock
Mark
knocker.
Hamill's face. That's the combat hand.
Yeah.
And he like flexes his you guys must have, like, the characters will have seen like Mercurium weapons, right?
Mhm.
So he sort of
Ooh,
flexes,
nice.
kind of thing, and this Mercurium blade comes out of his he's removed his hand, and
Very
it
swish.
like stabs. Like there must be something on the table, like a
Can.
a
His
can,
own
or
Musaa
something.
Kula can.
Musaa Kula X or something, and like
Farouk Varine.
stabs through it.
Musaa Kula Sport.
Yeah, the isotonic version. I made a video of that. Okay, there we go. Stabs through it, and he, as he sort of retracts the Mercurium blade, he catches it with his other hand. He's like,
Oh, he's such a
We'll
dude.
do a high five at that point. That was pretty sweet.
Don't give him a high five.
That's the other hand.
Just high five his little hand on the side.
on the
That's the
table.
one in the No, wait, that's my pot. We put that back. We haven't finished this round.
I'm definitely gonna win this.
Okay,
Right.
please put the knife away. I have a rule about no knives at the table.
No knives at the
Okay.
back of that table. Yeah.
No,
Um,
It's impolite.
so they're
only
happy.
laser
Can
weapons.
we do a roll and see if we can win his hand?
He can't win his hand.
Should we all roll and see who wins the round?
Why did I invoke?
Melly, you've got darkness points. You can use them to keep the hand.
I
Does
suppose I
anyone
could
have
just
a
go like this.
chain? I
Look,
could wear it around my neck as a sort of good.
he
luck.
wins his hand. There we go.
I was going to use the gambler's talent.
Ultimate success.
Yes.
Damn it.
Let's waste loads of resources on some absolute bullshit. I'm absolutely all in for that. Let's do it now.
Yes,
This is the best thing about it.
that's how we roll.
Then we can call him harmless, sort of.
Hey.
I know, yeah.
It's only half harmless though.
So as like the camera does this sort of like pan through the ship, these guys are in the mess in the
We are a
canteen.
mess at this point. I
Throwing
think.
this hand around.
Throwing a hand
Oh,
around,
shit,
stabbing
yeah.
shit. Can you stab a plate with your sword? Yes, I can stab a plate. Catch
What
it.
if we
And-
throw it in the air? What about then?
Yeah, just leaping around like children in the thing.
Yeah, we could.
Oh,
like,
wait, I have an
hold my
apple.
hands
If I
out
throw
and just
that
like,
up, can you do
"Hey!"
the slicey thing?
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll forget the cards. Let's just stab stuff.
Now it's just descended into boys in the mess.
Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, fruit ninja.
Yeah.
Where are Shanaz and Nadina? Have you gone like to the chapel for quiet time? Are you in?
Probably just go to Shanaz's quarters because they're chilled and clean and nice.
Um,
Couple of bottles of Cahal, a little bit less to eat than the boys.
so she sort of sits there and she's like, this is, and you probably hear in the background like, "Rah!" sort of thing.
And then a loud clang and explain something got damaged, but we're all cool with it.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff in the background. And she's like, this is nice. Thank you for.
Refreshing break, and I'll top up her wine.
Yeah, she
Cahal.
sips and she sort of.
Yes, it's
I've,
nice to have some time away from the boys.
I followed your account on Coriolis. I didn't think I would. Like I could never afford to go to Alkmaar's and you know, this is and you can see she's a bit like, oh, I'm dining with a courtesan. Oh shit, sort of thing.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. I just wanted to get out and see some more of real space, meet some real people, actually do some. One day I would love to do some real journalism. The courtesan's training is great and wonderful, and it's given me the opportunity to see so much and know so much. I would like to be able to give something back to the people of the Third Horizon.
And she, yeah, make a manipulation roll.
Okie dokie. Now, she doesn't fancy me, or does she?
But let's, as chat said, roll a flip a coin. She might fancy you a little bit.
She might fancy me a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you tossing the coin, or should I?
No, I've. Yeah,
Oh, you've
I've
done
done-
it.
She might fancy you a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, crikey. Right, that's 1, 2. Only 3 successes then.
All right. So only a critical there.
And I'm not, maliciously manipulating her here.
Okay. So
I'm
it's
trying to genuinely be nice to her.
like when you talk about like journalism and that kind of stuff, you can see she's like, oh, what sort of thing, and as the like the sort of backwards and forwards kind of conversation, she's like, will you be, and I have an offer. I know some folks who who would be very interested in the emerald disc we're going to find. If you would perhaps consider distracting, and maybe that's where we hear like, now try the pineapple kind of thing from the background or something.
I imagine poor Farouk is against a wall, like desperately, we're all just throwing fruit at him, watching him slice it. I've also renamed him Yussi, by the way.
Yussi, okay. That's it. I have a counter offer from another interested faction who would be very interested in acquiring Zafira's. You know, it's like a legion ship, right? And
yeah, and those boys practically radiate legion. They're not terribly kind to you.
No, they
but they need you.
Well, they're not really legion anymore. They go by a group called the Steel Skulls. They have basically threatened me and some of the folks. Not been with the colonial agency for a while. And she looks around conspiratorially. Like, I've been freelance. It pays better. And she looks at you like,
You're the one with the technical skills. You're the one they actually need to get the disc. They think that they're calling the shots, but they can't do it without you because you're the one with the skills. So believe me, I've heard this story many times. The ladies with the skills being overlooked by boys with their guns, posing and showing off.
But at the Red Spider Network have offered a lot of burr for this disc. I might have got in touch with them and said they paid me, and I could share that. Or introduce you. You want to be a journalist, right? There. And she struggles when she says it. Like, they're legitimate journalists. I could get you contacts and share some of the burr from the fee. All we have to do is make sure they don't know we actually get the disc and maybe say it's corrupted or something. I could.
Are you able to take a copy of it?
Not of a Legion Emerald disc. No, not quick enough. They're gonna know their way around the bridge if we do find the Zafira.
Yeah. We'll find it. I have every faith in this crew. They seem very effective, and the professor is a genius at what he does.
But we could not give it to them and make a little bit of extra burr.
Not giving it to them sounds like a good idea to me, because I'm concerned that maybe they don't value us as a crew all that much and they simply see us as a means to an end. Whereas I don't think that you see us in that way. I think you appreciate our value as people.
Oh, and like she smiles. She's like, oh no, I appreciate your value, Shanaz. Like, sort of moment. But we could. It would be dangerous though if they catch and they find out what we've done. They will mercilessly execute all of us.
I imagine so.
And I don't really want to, like, not being executed is why I'm kind of here right now.
Not being executed is good. Yes, I'm a big fan of not being executed. I should really let you know as well that we didn't just glide past that pariah vessel.
Is this? And she immediately like bristles, like she's thinking like, did you make a deal with them or something?
No. They came on all strong with we're a warship with lots of guns, and I persuaded them to stand down and step back. I'm not making a deal with the pariah. That's terrible business for someone in my line of work.
She's okay.
But your suggestion has a lot of merit.
And a lot of burr. And then she remembers herself, like she's obviously like, oh no, wait, and contacts. Like she's like, oh shit, no, I'm going to keep some of this money for me. I'm just going to introduce you to the Red Spider Network. Yeah. So do you think we could perhaps try to keep the disc from ourselves?
Absolutely.
She's like, okay, yeah.
I think it's in all of our best interests to do so. And who knows, the boys may be happy if they just get their ship back. Maybe they can fly it to safety on their own and they won't even need us to be there with them.
I don't think they could fly a Legion destroyer by themselves.
That would be a shame.
And if they find out we have the Emerald Disc and they can operate a Legion destroyer by themselves, we're probably toast.
No, I can't see them being able to operate a Legion destroyer, especially one that's been out of contact for years, cycles. Like this, it's going to take them some time to get anything back up and operational. And I'm sure we have everything necessary to distract them and send them to places where they can bring us technical data from other places, give you enough time to work.
So she nods. She's like all in for this, and she sends you like a one-time message kind of thing. The disappearing messages with like, this is what I'll pay you if we get to keep the disc, and it's like enough money to perhaps rent the ship for at least another Cyclade. Like it's a fat amount of cash, kind of amount.
The important thing was driving a wedge between her and them, which I think we've successfully done.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems very reasonable.
And then she is like, she sends you that. She feels like the deal is kind of done, and then she asks, like, did you really turn down the Emir of, so that kind of stuff. She immediately gets into like the gossip kind of stuff.
Publicly at his request.
And she's like, oh, and then that kind of camera.
See, it turns out he's not actually interested in ladies, but he couldn't let it be known that that's the case. So in order to be seen to be more socially acceptable, he had to facilitate a situation in which he could be verbally rebuffed by someone of my standing, and so he paid me quite handsomely to turn him down.
So she's like, oh, and I guess the kind of camera fades out as she's like, no, tell me all the detail, that kind of stuff. I can never message about that kind of stuff, that sort of thing.
I'd like the camera to pan back to wherever we are, and we're having a pillow fight, but with frozen chickens.
It's just descended into the absurd already. Excellent.
Fire will be sitting up on the counter, cross-legged, just with the hookah up, just watching.
Gets slightly worse, then slightly worse, and just off a cliff.
All right.
My money is on Yusuf.
Yusuf stone cold sober, kind of like that kind of stuff. So yeah. It's sort of, I think we end because it's getting quite late. I got up very early.
Oh, it is. Crikey.
It's quite late.
Why did you do that?
so as like Nadina is like, oh, please tell me all about the Emir and how you rejected him and all that kind of gossip in the court and all that kind of glorious sort of things. And then there's just a end credit scene of Silsilla swinging a frozen chicken around his mess.
And then we go for shot put with a frozen chicken.
Yeah. Thank you for playing Coriolis with me. I have missed this game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love
missed this
Coriolis.
game.
Awesome.
Love my character already.
Cool. I like Yusuf.
Nice.
I like Yusuf. I like Silsilla. I like Shanaz. I love Jafar. I'm so glad that Shanaz survived that explosion.
We do need our own cool group name now. If we're going to fight the Steel Skulls, we need our own alliterative name against them.
Or the Alliterative Association.
I mean, fair enough, yeah.
So as we end tonight's show because it's late. It is Tuesday here on Garblag. What happens for the rest of the week? Can we?
Tomorrow we've got Wrath and Glory, the Bellerophon Index, part 3, where my players are going out of the hive and into the toxic waste desert for shenanigans.
Part 2 just hit the YouTube,
Oh, nice.
so people can go and check that out.
Catch up in time.
Then on Thursday, we've got session 0 of Cyberpunk Red.
Oh,
And Pete's allowed to play again.
Yeah, I'm playing Jack Black in that game.
nice.
Are you?
Jack Black with a machine gun.
Excellent.
I
I'm
mean,
playing
I
Eddie
like to
Brock.
imagine he has at least 3.
Yeah, well, yeah, one at a time. You know, he's got an array of guns, but only one at a time.
Got to pretend it's a guitar.
And we've got
Yeah, exactly.
Jim and Aaron both playing solos. I suspect
It's
we
gonna
may
be
get very
crazy.
different take on solos
I
from
might
Jim
actually
and
play
Aaron.
solo as well. We could just have a whole party of solos.
I mean, yeah, if you want to play a solo as well, then I will totally play a solo too.
Solo
We
with
could be like,
Is this like the D&D magic of a group of bards?
yeah. Or we could all play Rocker Boys.
Well,
I mean, Jack Black as a rock.
That's a band, right?
Good.
Yeah, that's a band.
I'm leaning towards Rocker Boy, but I need to have a double look. Double
Yeah.
check.
And then also on Thursday, we've got the Americans playing a game.
Achtung.
Achtung Cthulhu, that's right, this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Friday,
Star Wars?
Star Wars?
I think it's the Dark Times.
Star Wars question mark?
The Dark Times.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Star Wars question mark is looking good. Let me double check. That's February.
Australis Place has a good question. If there are 3 solos, are they truly solos?
Can't call them a
Trios.
trio. That's the kind of biscuit.
Um,
No, it looks like it might be Monster of the Week this week and
Ooh.
Star Wars next week.
excitement.
Okay.
Excitement.
The elusive Star Wars.
Yeah.
If you want to check out all of the other things we've referenced tonight, because there are many references, check out the YouTubes or the podcasts. If you're not sure where to start, come and join us on the Discord and we will tell you. We'll give you hints and see the Musaa Kula advert,
Is awesome.
which is just,
Yes, it is
just
fantastic.
daft. Just daft.
It looks official. It looks like seriously official.
It does. It
like
looks
a
like a
really
real
looks
advert.
It looks like a real
Terrible.
proper advert.
It's
so good.
almost as good as that
It's like-
octopus one in the Firefly film
Oh,
that
yeah.
sets
Oh,
off
yeah. Yeah.
River.
Yes. But thank you very much for playing games with us tonight. I think no, I've lost my train of thought. Pete, what have I forgot to say?
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
Patreon.
Patreon. You tell us about Patreon.
Well, there's many tiers to the Patreon, and some of them allow you to come and play games with us. Gaming with a Gar Black is lots of fun. Once a month, we have a game with our patrons. But there's all other kinds of cool stuff going on. We'll be doing Traveller in June, and we'll be doing some world building with our patrons on the way towards that. And also, my pet project, Heroic Deeds, is coming to the patrons soon with the playtest PDF. So there's various things going.
That's
towards
true.
the-
We've all got our
towards the
silly little
patrons.
pet projects going
We
on at the
have
minute.
got our silly little pet project.
Melly, how's your King Arthur cartoon TV sci-fi sword adventure coming.
Shing.
Can we sing the Ulysses theme tune?
If you can, yeah, just for this game. It's basically Ulysses, but King Arthur. I haven't done much with it for a while. I should make a nice little. I should bundle it all together and make a nice little playtest
Isn't
document.
it Arthur 3000? Is it Arthur 3000?
Something like that. Arthur 3000.
Yeah, that's
Blatantly
cool.
Ulysses.
That's cool.
9 million.
Was it 9,000? I think it was 9,000.
Arthur 9000, something like that.
9,000. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Not 3,000. That's lame.
Wasn't
9,000.
40,000.
More future.
Almost 9,000. Arthur 8,999.
It's almost over 9,000.
That'd be
Exactly.
okay. Arthur
Ever see that?
899.
Did you ever see that Saturday morning cartoon of Arthur King and his American football team, and they travel back in time to the time of King Arthur, and they all had it was like visionaries, but like they were.
I
Did you
don't
ever see
know,
that?
but I
That
need
was-
it
that
now. I
was
need to watch it
I don't know.
now
I think
for
a blood vessel in
research.
my brain just burst, though.
The Knights of Justice. There you go. It was shit, but it was great.
All right. So I'm going to go and do research for my RPG based on that cartoon there, because I think I need it. in my
yeah,
game.
cross between that and Ulysses.
Yeah, Ulysses. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'm gonna go and go to bed because I got up at 5:30 this morning. So
Back with more methamphetamine potential.
no,
fuel.
no, let's not go there. No more chickens.
do a
in the
pilot.
mess. We don't
It's
do
at
that.
5:30 in the morning.
I know, right? And it is now late. So thank you very much for playing at Coriolis with me. I'm very excited to get back into the Third Horizon. We'll all see you. Well, I won't, but
We
the
didn't
rest of
die
Garblag.
either.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.